Hello and welcome to Good Brews, Bad Views, the podcast where we find out if good beer makes craft
movies any better. The Deja Vu edition. Let's just go with it.
Okay, yeah.
We'll do it live.
Do it live! Alright. Podcast that makes the wonders of good beer makes bad movies any better. I am your host, Max Storowich, and as always, joined by my wonderful co-host, Jen Thorpe.
Hello.
And Ryan Everart.
Most wonderful.
And today we have a very, very special guest. My very good friend and the first person I ever told about the podcast, one Claire Higginbottom.
Hello.
Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Program.
So, Claire, as we do with all of our first-time guests, we have a number of questions to ask you.
My
Question
body is ready.
uno. What was the first movie you ever saw in theaters?
So the first one that I distinctly remember was 1994. I saw a Goofy movie with my grandma and my brother. 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up, to the point where I, within the last 5 days recently, bought a Powerline in-concert t-shirt.
Very nice, very nice. Prince or Michael Jackson? Who was
Dance
he based
moves,
off
Michael Jackson, literally everything else Prince.
Yes.
Concur.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And question number 2. What was the first bad movie you ever saw?
So back in like the early 2000s when everyone was all hyped up on like kung fu movies with one white western star, my dad got advanced screening passes somehow to the movie Bulletproof Monk with Sean William Scott.
Oh my god.
It's so bad. And somehow, like, I don't know, to hype up the movie, they gave us, like, keychains, like a really stupid long-sleeve black tee that just said Bulletproof Monk down one of the sleeves. So I tried to, like, talk up the movie to people that I knew to, like, make it sound really cool that I went to an advanced screening for a movie. No, it was horrible. Do not recommend.
Was Chow Yun-Fat bulletproof?
I believe he kung fu dodged all the bullets.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if kung fu is the right
way.
flavor of martial arts. That might have been accidentally racist, so I apologize.
Yeah. Part of me wants to think he capoeiraed.
Sexy Brazilian dance fighting?
Yes.
Just bring Eddie Gordo from Tekken into this. You back off, Max.
That was a Bob Burgers reference. Okay.
Also, yes.
And question number 3. What was the first beer that to you showed you that there was more to this fine beverage than American Adjunct Lager?
I think you and I actually share the same and or a similar answer to this question because we were at the same party that the kegs were at. But a KBC Liftbridge Brown.
It is a fine, fine beverage.
Fine. So fine.
I was recently at the KBC when I visited the UP, and they did not have it on tap, and I was kind of sad.
I will be there in a week and a half. Apparently, they raised their pint prices to $2.75.
Those monsters.
Which is a travesty.
Yep. We come from the day when pints were $2.
And then $2.50.
And then $2.50. Growler fills are still very inexpensive, and flights are still very inexpensive, so. But yes, good old KBC Liftbridge Brown. Alrighty. So, for our second Halloween episode, we are watching Freddy vs. Jason, a much better versus mashup, whatever, than Batman vs. Superman.
I like Clash Up.
Clash Up is good.
Clash Up, okay, yeah.
Trademark Max.
Yeah, Trademark Max. Clash Up. Alright, so yes, Freddy vs. Jason, having 2 of the most iconic slasher movie villains going head-to-head after a combined total of 18 movies.
Holy hell.
That seems unnecessary.
Yes.
For any character.
Yes.
Also, yes.
So, we are watching this movie on Amazon. We're about 13 seconds in. The New Line Cinema logo has just finished appearing, and the red glow is just receding behind the film strip with the slanty little edge. So, if you're watching along, hit play now. Early 2000s Max was all about the red and black color scheme. Thought it looked rad.
Current age Claire still is.
So yeah, so is current age Max. So this might be the first like exposition montage. We've had a lot of montages, but that one's with voiceovers.
I do like his storage of hat in the background. I don't think I noticed it the first time around. Yeah, he had like several hats on hooks in case he's feeling sassy and wants to switch it up.
My hat hooks.
I don't think this is a montage.
I don't know.
It gets to be montage.
Well, I mean, it's like John Bonet in a basement that no one can hear her from the 4th floor.
Yep.
Wasser creep.
Robert Englund is just a creepy looking man.
Right. He
I was reading this thing on Wikipedia
Nails
that
it.
while he is so good at being creepy and scary, I guess he's like so nice to everyone else that his hair and makeup took 10 times longer than possible because
Because
was
he's
so
chatting
nice to
everything
the
up?
makeup people.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
And like they actually did not like doing his makeup because he was so friendly that it took too long.
Yeah. Like I
believe it.
watched the director's commentary on this movie, as I do with
Of course.
as I do with a lot of other movies we watch here, and it's him, Ken Kirzinger, who plays Jason, and Ronnie Wu, the director, and he's Robert Englund is talking 85% of the time. Like,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Ken Kirzinger says maybe like 3 sentences over the hour and a half,
Oh, jeez.
and
He's just staying in character, really.
yeah. Ronnie Wu does a lot of chimes in with director stuff, but it's mostly just Robert Englund being chatty and
Right.
talking, and he likes the gab.
So would you say the sound never stops from England?
Oof.
I do like all the clips from the previous movies,
Yeah.
though. In case
Yeah.
it's been a while since you've seen one.
Right. This is the montage.
Some of these
Gotta
are
do a
really
montage.
cheesy.
Oh,
Kill the
yeah.
children montage.
They by the end of them, they got super cheesy.
Yeah.
Wasn't one of these... Freddy's Dead, right? That was number
That was
5
number
that was in
six.
3D? Oh, it was number
Number
6?
six,
All right.
yep.
Wasn't that a 3D movie?
I
think it was.
possibly.
I
I,
think
know
it was-
it featured a Nintendo Power Glove.
Real sign of quality.
Yeah. There's okay, so
bangs in this
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
teeth change throughout the movie.
Yeah.
If you notice there, it's real subtle when you're showing the teeth, but he actually has 2 rows of
Yeah, you
upper
can see
teeth.
the regular teeth behind it. It's like a shark.
Reg's
Yep.
teeth.
For a good 2 minutes, my boyfriend thought that this was Shannon Elizabeth. Had to remind him, unfortunately, that it was not. But the boobs are just as fake.
Right.
So
Yep.
Doesn't look anything like her in the face.
This movie has seen.
I don't really think he was looking at her face. To be
Fair
to be
point.
honest.
This movie has seen Shannon Elizabeth's boobs. We saw them in Jack Frost.
Ah, right. This podcast, you mean?
Yes.
This
yes.
movie.
I think that was actually like the first sex scene we had seen on one of our
Yeah.
movies.
Yep.
In a fringe sort of way, but yeah.
It was not consensual.
So trope number 1 of girls swimming alone in the lake at dark.
Naked, obviously.
Naked, obviously. I would love a Jaws cameo right now.
Yeah.
That would really make it the ultimate horror
There's
movie.
just a Sharknado in the
just
background.
appears.
Oh, Sharknado 100%.
That'd make this a splasher film.
I like it.
That's bad even for me.
Yep.
More like that, James. Keep them coming.
Yep.
So I do appreciate that she buttoned several buttons on her shirt. If she was really afraid and rushing, I feel like
Right,
she
right.
would have kept it aerodynamic just with the pointed forward boobs.
Right. I mean, there's the whole torpedo analogy, I guess.
Yeah.
Invisible
Man.
tripwires.
Yep. Fall.
Jason was a nom.
The punji sticks down there.
Oh.
Just makes me want to watch Tropic Thunder.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you
I
people?
was talking about that movie the other day. It's so good.
We were. That
Oh, the
movie,
jelly beans.
that movie has gotten better with age.
Oh,
Certainly.
100%.
Unlike this movie, which sucks.
Right. A lot.
Oh, thank God. It's just you, Treebeard.
Right. Takes a very long time to say, get out.
Ryan, are you going to be doing that throughout this entire movie? Yeah. Soundtrack by Ryan
I will
Everett.
be too, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Detroit Red Wings.
I love
Red
the
Wings
lift,
Nest.
though.
Ah!
That's great.
Murdered by Terry Sawchuk. She's full of chocolate syrup.
Oof.
Yum.
Hope it's dark chocolate
Delicious.
syrup.
I do like that effect when she looks up right there.
Right.
That's a
Yeah,
cool
it's
shot.
a
Like
really
the slow head rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here she looks like Famke Jensen to me.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Punished.
I do like the makeup on how his head.
It's
Yeah.
just weird looking.
Yeah, his hydrovascular head.
Special boy. Special boy. Nevro.
Sounds like she's scolding him right there.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can never die, or else.
How dare
Yeah.
you be
If
dead?
you die, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Mommy has chores
So this is
for
one
you.
Betsy Palmer who played Jason's mother in the original Friday the 13th, who is the actual killer. And they'll know, although Jason's known for the hockey mask, he doesn't actually get it until the third movie.
I know.
You're right.
I do really like this little scene right here with the heartbeat and the inflating lungs.
Yeah, really cool.
And the eyeball.
Jason has no depth perception.
I mean, it's probably why he uses a machete. It's got good reach.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's got a good fudge factor.
Yep.
Exactly.
I just swing in this general direction and people die.
Low weight, high durability. Not a bad
See, you
transition.
got that little stumpy teeth here. You gotta get this guy to a Sephora.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's some bad CGI.
And here comes some metal music.
Yep.
Yeah, just don't do liquid CGI.
Yeah.
It's not the time for it.
Nope.
I would have liked if the opening credits were more of like splash of blood against the wall and then like the letters appear, kind of like when Freddy vs. Jason appeared like that. I thought that was kind of a cool. I kind of wanted a little bit more like that of that kind of stuff. We see Elm Street and one Springwood, Ohio. Or I think that's Springdale. That's where the city is supposed to be.
Moral of the story: never go to Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, this movie is filmed in Vancouver, if you couldn't tell.
And here we have the second most successful third of Destiny's Child.
One, Kelly Rowland. Best actress in the movie.
Oh, 100%
Certainly.
best actress in the movie.
She's great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because she had to spend her whole life acting like she didn't mind being overshadowed by Beyonce.
Quite the crucible.
But the fact that she was able to do that for so long is itself an amazing feat.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, I just picked up that her name is that they call her Gib.
Yeah.
I just picked that up. I didn't hear what the first few times that we've watched this movie. I didn't notice that that was what they called her.
But I do love her like general appearance of like tomboy slut.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of
You know what's
a really interesting choice.
You know what is kind of odd about her? I haven't seen someone with a non-flat billed baseball cap in such a long time that her hat looks weird.
Ah,
All my caps are not
none of mine are flat,
flat.
though.
Yeah. You just don't pay attention to us, Max.
Here come the douchebags.
You never loved us, Max.
Nope. What am I gonna love?
I bet you those guys rode a douche canoe on the way here.
Wah,
Oh, yeah.
All
wah.
the rain.
I'm gonna start calling people cocksmith. That's such a great insult.
Pouring
Also-
wieners out of a
Is it-
forge
is it-
and
it's-
hammering them into shape.
Is a cocksmith a derogatory version of a coxman?
Or is it a derogatory term of a blacksmith?
Maybe it's a guy who makes things out of chicken.
GBBV asking the tough questions.
Also, I just realized that Varsity Sport Girl totally looks like Bethany, whatever her name was from Seventh Heaven. And it's kind of
Oh,
throwing me off.
the not the
little
old
one who
one?
became not the littlest one, but the medium one who became a preacher, and it was just like a really weird storyline.
Oh, is that where her character arc went?
Oh yeah, it was unpleasant. Lived
Ugh.
in like the apartment over her parents' garage. I watched a lot of Seventh Heaven because when I was in Catholic school, that was one of the only shows I was allowed to watch. It was a depressing sixth grade experience.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what's not depressing? This beer we're drinking today.
Das Bier.
Das beer.
So we are drinking one of my favorite beers,
Just crotch scratch.
Warlock by Southern Tier, an Imperial Stout with pumpkin spices and chocolate. Very, very pleasant. Last time we had Southern Tier was for the Running Man, which Claire recently endured through. We had their Cherry Goza, an quote-unquote Imperial Goza, which just meant the ABV was like 9 as opposed to 4.
Yes.
And then before that, we had Pumpkin with Sleepy Hollow, that one James Thorpe did not enjoy at all.
Boo. I'm booing this movie and Pumpkin.
I had a milkshake once that was like pumpkin, vanilla ice cream, and whiskey, and that actually made it pretty tolerable.
That sounds good. I drink that, but that's mostly just because it has vanilla ice cream and whiskey in it. I think you could probably add cement to that and it would taste good.
Local drinking establishment Dragon Mead, which we like to...
We'll serve you cement.
Well, probably. But you can get a pumpkin, like their pumpkin beer. They serve it with cinnamon.
Can we
and
focus
like,
on this chauvinist line for a second?
Oh,
Though? 'Cause
gosh,
if someone
yeah.
said, "Babe, don't make me ask twice" to me, there would be like a gratuitous macheteing.
Yeah,
Right.
Like I would be
by everyone.
Jason Voorhees.
Like everyone pulls out a machete.
Yeah.
Just literal
and
balls
goes
of ice.
all, senators on Caesar. But Dragon Mead, they sometimes have whipped cream and cinnamon and nutmeg you can get on their pumpkin ale, which makes that beer superior in every way.
Really?
Yep. I've had it without the accoutrements.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this beer, though, what do you guys think of this beer?
I think it's delicious. I think it's interesting that it's almost like the pumpkin spice latte of beers, where it has the cinnamon and the flavors, but there doesn't taste like much actual pumpkin. It's just the spice.
It's complementary as opposed to flavor forward, I guess.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I enjoy a good pumpkin spice. I will admit that about myself, but it's nice that it's not too overpoweringly pumpkin.
Being that I don't like pumpkin, there's basically no pumpkin taste in this. However, I am surprised by how much I do like this, because I don't particularly like pumpkin spice in anything but pumpkin pie. So it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I generally don't care for pumpkin or pumpkin spice anything, but to reiterate, it's fairly subtle in this, and the pumpkin is almost not there for
We
me.
have the least enthusiastic sex scene ever.
Yeah, initially I thought
We're bored.
He's being forward by, or not forward, but positive by having the woman on top, but then nope, just really, really lazy.
Nope.
Hashtag feminism.
Not doing any work there, buddy.
I also like that he specifies that he did indeed close the back door.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gold star
Also,
for
who
you,
doesn't
bud.
like to be touched after sex?
I don't like to be touched during sex.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but...
That's
Do
'cause you're a
it
woman.
telepathically.
Hey, don't kink shame.
A simultaneous beer break.
Oh, I got left out that time.
Don't worry, there's still a lot of movie left.
Oh, lucky us.
No, not lucky us.
Hey guys, just a quick update. We've made it past 16 minutes.
All right.
Take two seems to
No,
be going
no
very
one needed
well
to
so
know
far.
Right.
the second time.
In case we seem unenthusiastic by the first 20 minutes of this
Right.
movie, that's because we watched it about a half hour ago.
We gotta watch him die again, though.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes!
All right. So I know this is a slasher
Douchebag
film.
sandwich.
Like TNA is part of a slasher film.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But that shower scene is completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah.
The above.
The downward angle.
downward
It's just a
angle shower.
crunch.
Yeah. God.
The sound of the.
There's another movie where they squish somebody in a bed.
Douchebag sandwich,
Is
man.
it deathbed? The bed that eats people?
No.
A movie that is on our list.
I'm trying to remember.
Oh God! Why are you talking about eating chocolate syrup in the bed?
What movie that is?
Johnny Depp in his very first movie appearance in Nightmare on Elm Street 1
Right.
gets sucked into his
the
bed.
Right.
No,
The
there's
blood
a scene
geyser.
where it's like this though.
Oh, ugh.
One time in college, I was in the shower when there was a fire alarm and had to run out of the dorm dressed much like that. Less blood, thankfully.
Wasn't
but
it also winter?
It was winter.
Jeez.
It was mid-February. I was outside in flip-flops and a towel.
That's actually pretty funny.
The scene where she's
Like, what the
she-
fuck are you
yeah.
Yeah.
We had a similar thing like that at Michigan State. I was an RA at the time, and it was the middle of a sleet storm at 3 a.m. And people were outside in things like you were talking about, towels, and like, why can't I go inside and be
Excuse me.
warm? And the reason was that the building was actually on fire.
Oh,
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
the fire rises.
Yeah.
That's how you should have responded, even though it was not a movie.
Not quite yet.
They're all kind of dry now, so you can tell that time has passed.
Yeah, they're very
No,
dry.
Their hats are just so big; they just
Right.
keep them dry.
Well, I meant the kid, the quote-unquote
Oh,
teenagers.
Yeah. They all go to the same school as Robin.
Yep.
Yeah. We guys talking about my hair? It's pretty red, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hope he gets a perm so we can look like 2001 Justin
Oh, that
Timberlake.
asshole has frosted tips too. This is madness. How did we survive this as a species?
All right.
We were too
Officer
worried about
Sugar Ray.
terrorism.
Yeah.
I think.
So I really like the camera work in this scene. I know we've talked about that, but like the quick cuts back and forth and the
Right.
perspective is really great. Like
Right.
as horrible as this movie is, they know how to work a camera.
All right. Man.
Brah, stop doing your job. Come and frost those tips.
Officer Pseudo Rip Torn for James.
That's the chief.
Chief.
Yeah, the chief.
Chief
Almost
Torn?
Torn. He's yelling at almost Sugar Ray.
Every morning there's a murder that's committed under Freddy Krueger's bed.
I'm on board.
They keep moving into the house where they burned him alive. They figure, what the heck? I don't know.
I'm way better
A for
at this
effort,
than you
Max.
are, Max.
Yep.
Stop trying.
You ran
no-
out of momentum.
You're
I
no,
did.
yeah, you're no Wayne Brady, but good show.
Yep. I tried.
Hello?
So this is the one little CGI thing I do not enjoy in this movie.
it's so
It
bad.
doesn't
It's
even look
aged
like
terribly.
blood. It's like weird
No.
and metallic paint.
And there's really no reason for it at all.
No.
She could have just been wandering the hall, being like, "Hello."
Right.
I do
there?
love this little part, though.
Yeah.
This actually is pretty creepy.
The Brady
that's
Bunch scene in this
unsettling.
movie.
Yeah.
It's the
Here's
Freddy.
the story
It's
of
the
a
Freddy
murdered
Bunch.
family.
So were you guys slasher movie fans growing up?
Yeah.
Slash presently? Any
Yeah.
favorite characters or favorite series, I suppose?
I mean, I like a lot of them, very much these characters in this movie, but as we kind of talked about before, Freddy Krueger has a special place in my nightmares in that he terrorized my nightmares.
As in he was in them.
Yeah, and
Oh,
much
for
of my
sure.
formative years causing actual havoc in my life.
Yeah.
It was really not fun.
Well, to me, for like a time where like the quality and the caliber of horror movies, wasn't great. Freddy Krueger is super effective. Is that he really does attack you at your most vulnerable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this child is definitely nightmare fuel.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
He likes going for the eyes, as
Yeah.
we see throughout the movie.
I was more of a Jason fan myself.
Okay, yeah. I always found Jason to be like the more like imposing of the two, because it's like you can't stop him.
Yeah,
Right.
he just keeps coming.
But I
But I
think
mean, it almost was like Jason had a twinge bit more of a moral compass? Question mark. Not that
he
any
doesn't
of them
he
really
doesn't
did,
kill
but,
like actual
this song is
children.
the scariest
Right.
thing that's ever existed in the history of
Oh,
scary
yeah.
No,
movies.
that's
Yeah.
awful.
yeah,
Yeah.
my eyes were glazed over watching this, and as soon as this came on, I snapped to attention because as much as I did like Jason more, this
It's so
This-
creepy.
You, yeah,
So
you'll admit
creepy.
that Freddy Krueger is a much more of a terrifying figure.
yeah. Well, that song at
That
least.
song is
Oh yeah,
horrifying.
yeah, that too.
So Ryan, I think
Pristine
you've talked
white.
about this before. Would you consider Darkness Falls a slasher movie, or is that like a supernatural movie?
I'd go with more the latter.
I
Okay,
would also go more supernatural on that one.
because speaking of terrifying moments, Darkness Falls is the one where the Tooth Fairy is an evil demon.
Yeah,
Right.
That's actually
The
yeah.
very beginning
I had not
sequence
seen
of
that
that
one.
movie
It's legit scary,
is
man.
legit terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like the person that horror movies are made for, in that I am a huge wimp, but I still subject myself to horror movies.
Yeah. Fist
And
bump.
I saw Darkness Falls in theater. I think I'm gonna date myself here, but I think it came out when I was like only in like 7th grade, so I was like a little kid when it came out, and
James and I saw it in the
was
theater.
Terrible.
Yes,
like,
we
I
saw
was
it together.
Were you
terrified.
guys disappointed by it in the theater?
Oh, it's
Certainly.
terrible.
Yeah.
All right, drink if you're watching at home and playing the Good Brews Bad Views drinking game.
All
Yeah.
right.
No, it was terrible.
It just opens so strong.
It's so like to this day, the image of the Tooth Fairy wrapped around the door frame on the
it's so
outside
cool.
of the bathroom, like just like billowing in a wind that doesn't exist.
Right.
It's such a cool
yeah.
image.
For
Have
truth.
you guys seen Don't Be Afraid of the Dark? Guillermo del Toro's
No,
I've
heard it's
scary
good.
movie?
No.
That one's pretty good.
Also, of course, this guy's name is Blake. Like,
Oh,
I just want
yeah.
to focus back on that for a second,
Yep.
because of course his name is Blake.
Right.
I do like this.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I kind of wanted more crazy, dreamy stuff. I mean, Jason kills a lot of people in this movie.
Right.
Freddy only manages to do one person in.
But I mean, that kind of
uh,
manifests the whole Freddy versus Jason aspect, is that Freddy is mad that Jason is taking all of his kills.
Right.
Yeah, kill steals. There's I mean, he terrorizes everyone in the movie, but I kind of maybe wanted to see him get one or two more.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, I could have made State.
Yeah.
So I think that scene right there was like the first time I watched it, the only scene that made me almost jump a little bit, just
Oh,
because
really?
I wasn't expecting
Expecting the
it.
head to come off.
Yeah.
Like, I
And-
knew something was wrong, obviously, but I was not expecting a sudden decapitation.
All right. So were you watching this time, Claire? That dude is dead. Like he's fucking
Yeah.
dead.
So, the first time I watched this movie, aka up to an hour ago, I thought this second guy in line was also Blake, and I was very confused why he suddenly ended up in a psychiatric ward after seeing his dad die.
Because they're all just generic Dawson's Creek fodder, man.
Also, this is one of my favorite tropes in that there is some sort of pharmaceutical where its name basically explains what it does in the drug. Like, I want to see a Viagra that's called, like, Dickupatron.
Dickupatron.
Haha! I have the remote. I have the power.
I have the power.
Yeah.
So they actually found a pretty good copy of the Nightmare on Elm Street house, which is actually based in L.A., which is why I thought this town Springwood was supposed to be in California, because there's palm trees in the background of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's supposed to be in Ohio, and they filmed this in Vancouver, so they did a good job of finding a different house. And I like how they always, like, people keep on living in that house, despite, like, oh, a murderer lived here.
Yeah.
We'll just paint the door a different color.
Yeah.
No one will notice it's the
You'll
same
be
thing.
none the wiser. Mm-hmm. Yes. I want one of those shirts.
It's just like a Crudex sweatshirt. I'm sure
Yeah.
I can get you one.
Sure. Will you? Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
for sure.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
I wish they gave this Checkers guy more of a backstory.
I know, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he kind of looks like the big lumbering nerdy law student from Legally Blonde who like helps her get the book.
Oh,
off the
yeah,
top
yeah.
shelf. He kind of looks like if he like got burned out from Harvard Law and went crazy and got
Oh.
sent to a psych ward. And
No.
that is another movie I would watch.
Right. No, he's kind of like Freddy versus Jason's Hodor.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, being a dick to the mute Checkers guy doesn't make me like blonde guy.
He's a bad boy. He
Yeah.
wears a denim jacket,
Yeah.
but he's not a dick. It's not a leather jacket.
Where did that ginger brother come from?
Right.
A Cabbage Patch?
Huh? Probs. No, I only want exposition in this movie if it's coming from Robert Englund.
Yeah.
That'd be
Not-
like the opposite of Morgan Freeman narrating your life.
Yeah.
Not discount Matt LeBlanc's.
Discount Matt LeBlanc. I like that.
That was an
I
80-yard
think that's
fart.
actually the first time I've noticed the fart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fart in
Alright,
square
let's see what
brackets
this
in
pink
the subtitles.
drink is supposedly. It says...
Okay, what's the name of the drug? Nobatine?
Nobatine? I don't know.
Ah, that goes against the trope. That makes me really sad.
We'll reevaluate later. Maybe.
Knock you out.
Yeah.
Knock you out a teen. Also, Ruhypnol.
Right.
He really just wanted to get a shot in the butt.
Right.
Also, why doesn't he have a shirt on?
Shirts are dangerous. It was removed.
Okay,
Yep.
so let's ignore the fact that they got past all the other guards, all the camera, what
Yeah.
is probably a barbed wire fence.
These kids played a lot of Metal Gear Solid before they got
Oh, yeah.
incarcerated.
This is cake.
Oh, roofie your daughter time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, little girl.
I like how you can read that says for the suppression of dreams.
Hypnosil.
Yeah.
Repression of dreams.
Yeah.
Even though Hypnosil does sound like the opposite of repression of dreams. It sounds like you're going to be induced in some sort of hypnotic state.
Oh yeah.
So basically, it's just basically Hypnosil sounds like it's just concentrated cough syrup.
I guess.
It's like doing a whole bunch of lean. Robo-tripping?
Robo-trip.
Robo-tripasil?
Robotripacil. You know I only like orange juice with pulp.
Right. Blah, 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 blah.
They do just enough to his voice to make it sound a little bit like Robert Englund.
Spooky. Is he tall and she's short? There's a big height differential here.
I mean, she's supposed to be in high school, so maybe.
You know, 18-ish.
Or he's still like in his deep down, he's like in his rebellious midlife crisis goth phase, and he's wearing like this big like platform industrial
Oh, yeah.
boots.
Artificial height.
Yep. Or he's like Robert Downey Jr. and just wears lifts. Because he can't stand being short.
Her dad looks like the America's Most Wanted guy.
He does a little bit.
This movie just of almost people.
Yep.
Almost rip torn.
Yeah.
Almost Matt LeBlanc. Me and my hat will take care of this.
My head.
Leaves.
Yeah. That looked like Anna Paquin a little bit.
Yeah. Vaguely. Oh, the early 2000s when kids would just smoke on campus
Right.
of high schools.
You know, I actually think Gibb does pretty decent acting comparatively to the rest of this little clique.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly Rowland outburst again.
There we
My
go.
favorite.
The shit this is bullshit is quotes from actual Destiny's Child meetings.
Now shut up and get out on stage.
Oh, here comes the nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you leave Linderman alone.
Linderman.
Oh,
See,
wow.
they made sure you know exactly what his role is because they put him in a sweater vest.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which no one has worn since 1955.
Excuse you, I still own a sweater vest.
You're not a nerdy man, though. Last I checked.
Owning is not the same as wearing.
Oh, I wear it.
All right.
It's
Either
Argyle.
that or he's just trying to be Arthur.
Like the aardvark?
Yes.
AARDVARK?
Yes.
Oof.
Pretty good reggae opening theme.
Oh, early 2000s because they're still handing out party flyers.
Yep.
Yep.
It's Discount Jay and Silent Bob.
It's
Jamie
it's
is.
just yes.
I got my rugby shirt on. I'm ready
Yeah.
to party.
You know, I'm actually floored that no one is using a hacky sack in this movie.
And not college kids.
Well, I mean, they aren't showing their feet. They might
Oh,
be
yeah,
like
they're
stealth
continually
hacky
just
sacking.
yeah, just subtly hacky sacking constantly in the
Perpetual.
background. More like a
Please,
monster man.
Tell me more about your in-depth traumatic nightmare.
He was a man.
Girl, learn from the rest of us. Keep your emotional breakdowns out of the halls of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Cry in your bedroom like the rest of us. Honky grandma be tripping.
Grandma be tripping. Black cop, white cop. Well, see you later.
Yep,
We're
goodbye.
done here. Bye.
Is that guy like 4 foot tall?
Yeah, he's
got to be.
a small man.
Like the closer he gets to the screen or the camera, like the shorter he becomes.
Boing to Lord.
Here, you're scared. Let me make you more scared.
Yeah.
So they keep casting people that look very similar. He's not the same guy that was in
Yeah, right.
the insane asylum, right? AKA the guy that looks exactly like the guy who broke out.
No, I'm just.
So did they like?
Oh, he is though, because they just busted into the high school wearing
Yeah.
regular people clothes.
No one will ever suspect.
Yeah.
What did they do with their crew neck sweatshirts?
They like pincer move this. Like, you go down one hallway, I'll go down the other.
Yeah. Strategical social creeping.
Yep.
What's
Larry
with the
David
smirk?
with the wig? So yeah, not quite Larry David is the principal.
Someone go poop on her.
Did your guys' high school have a school nurse?
No.
Not that I know of. I know we had like
Did we?
an athletic department where they did like, you know, kids that got hurt in like football.
Yeah, we just
got,
had the
like,
trainers.
wrapped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
what we did.
trainers.
Like
I
if
don't
you
think
got
we
hurt,
had an
you just
actual
got sent to the
nurse.
trainer.
Right.
Oh,
That's what would
yeah.
happen.
But I also never got hurt in school. So.
Yeah, like I didn't know of anyone who got hurt in school. So
Yeah.
I feel like school nurses are a myth.
Go to the school nurse. You've got head pigeons.
The nurse can't help you.
I feel like a high school would not have brochures on plastic surgery like in the school nurse's office. I thought they were supposed
Probably
to promote
not.
like self-esteem.
No, this is before that.
Oh, now she's nightmaring though.
No, she's been nightmaring for a while.
That's another bad CGI, but it really did make me laugh.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Just two kids
Buying-
outside
just
of
buying
class.
Coke.
What's up, fellow children?
Yeah,
Do you has the times?
right. Really enjoying those sports points, aren't you? Nope. We're
How can
not
they tell
either
us
of
from our
those.
disguises.
Right.
But we were dressed like normal kids. How did they know?
We look 30 just like everyone else. I mean, they had the internet, right?
Yeah.
At this time?
Yeah, they do, but this is still how you have to look at old newspapers.
Yeah.
Fair.
You watch True Detective, right?
No.
What?
I know.
Like, there's a scene in True Detective where they're, like, going through, like, looking for, like, murder records and whatnot, and they're pretty much just doing this
Yep.
with dramatic music in the background.
Don't forget the Dewey Decimal System is your friend.
I need my
He's talking
hypnocell.
about jumping to conclusions, but he's like, I need to break out of the mental hospital to go make sure my girlfriend I haven't seen in 4 years is okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I saw her house on the news.
Yeah.
I think I saw her house on the news.
They need to jump to conclusions, Matt.
I like that he's flipping through this book like he's actually paying attention
Right.
to it. But he's just being grumpy.
It's just like it's like he's on the wildebeest section of some book or something.
Yeah.
How is that helpful, Jason Ritter? Also, I love how the characters in this movie figure out the plot exactly with almost no effort.
Look at that van.
You know there is a Yes tape or a Rush tape just,
Oh.
like, fused with that tape deck.
I was gonna
It
say-
is not coming out.
Yep.
There was this kid that went to tech. He was really something special. He had a van, much like that. But the back seat was just one giant bed, and there were velvet paintings and, like, antlers hanging on the inside wall.
Oh, jeez.
And,
That in no way surprises me.
It's quite the
and
image.
of course, there were never any girls back there.
No.
Ever.
No.
I feel like Krieger from Archer should be driving this van.
Oh, 100%.
Exit van left. Vanispheres.
Oh, Cricket-san.
I don't judge you, but your mother sure as hell does.
I know that's supposed to be like carpet on the inside of the walls of this van. But,
Yeah.
But it looks like that like stuff they spray on walls. That's like bad insulation.
Oh,
Yeah.
spray and insulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
We just gotta stay just warm enough in this van.
Oh, their lungs are getting fucked.
Yep.
We have asbestos in our ceiling.
Is that a Malcolm in the Middle pull?
Yes, it was a Malcolm in the Middle pull.
Wow.
He just called this van his pride and joy.
Yep.
Like, that's a thing that was said in serious. Oh, rave time.
Yep.
Rave
With
time.
glow sticks that aren't even cracked.
Right.
Yep.
So I guess
We'll
here's
just,
my
we'll just make
question.
it blurry.
Here's my question to you: did they never crack the glow sticks, or did they have so many takes that they couldn't get
that
the
they-
glow
yeah.
sticks?
Well, some of
to
them are
show up?
cracked here.
All right.
Okay, so
I think it's like near
there's
the
probably
end of
just-
the night where the
There's
cracked
probably
glow
just too
sticks are
much
starting to
light
die.
from the.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
probably
typically
too much light from the lighting.
right.
Could
Right.
be.
I don't know. This looks
Now
like fun.
you do.
So I don't understand why he had to suck the beer through the hose that was going down through gravity. Like, couldn't they?
That's a good question.
This movie has different gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people are dead, but I'm just gonna sit on a car and gyrate.
Yeah.
This guy looks like Miles Teller. He's not, but he looks like Miles Teller.
Yeah.
Linderman.
Selective rain.
Nerd.
He's the kind of
Oh,
guy
I
who
love
likes
this. I
Rick
love
and
this
Morty
so
because
much.
it's
Do it.
smart humor that people just don't understand.
I love when a nerd gets some sweet insults in.
Go,
Because-
go, Linderman, go. Ooh. In for the kill, Linderman. Linderman 1, Kia 0. Is that what her name is in this movie?
Kia,
Kia?
yes.
Yeah.
Like, you should be
Driving
driving
a
a Kia
Kia
from
from
7
7
Place Kia. 7 Place Kia.
Little local humor.
Yeah. Radio for 2.
Yeah.
So that Linderman taunt seemed okay until he got really personal at the end.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna join the alt-right.
Yeah, like up front, I was like, okay, maybe this makes sense because they're trying to play off the fact that she wants a nose job and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't really like herself. And then it went to the like
You wear
makeup
too
weighing
much
you
makeup,
down
like
part.
a
and I was like,
slut.
okay, too far, too far.
I almost feel like he can be like the quote unquote nice guy hero then because like after this, Kia's super into him. Like, he was a super nice dude, and then he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be an asshole, and then all the girls are gonna like me.
I don't think he was being an asshole to get
He's
people to
just
like him. I think he
firing
was
back.
just kind of fed up.
No,
with
he was
being-
just, like,
Yeah.
fed up and losing it. But I
Yeah.
feel like that could definitely be taken as, like, the anti-hero, if you will,
Yeah.
All right.
on Reddit.
Does it make you horny, baby? Wasn't this close to gold member in release
I
dates?
literally, yeah. I'm saying it came out the year before.
Hmm.
She's like, I don't understand, but she's like, I just literally explained to you where I've been for the last 4 years.
But why male models?
Derelict my balls.
The inclusion of the techno thing is like, we need to get the youths.
Yeah.
The youths.
Yeah, I like that the music conveniently gets very quiet for this scene for them to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene would be a lot more realistic if it was just them shouting these
What?
things at each other. What?
Right.
Comes
Freddy,
back.
what? Freddy Krueger. And then
Yeah.
comes out a speaker. Ah!
Yeah, once again, I guess I'm good with all the murder.
Yep.
Yep.
I love this guy with all of the glow sticks.
Yeah,
like, strapped to
he
him.
escaped Gotham City. He was one of the gang
Yeah.
members from Batman Forever.
Right.
I like that he's holding up his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Here's the line. All right. Oh, no. Not yet. Let's go.
Yep.
Ah, there it is.
Like, oh,
The
no
ret-
one insults me like him.
The return of douchery.
Why? Why would you follow this?
She's drunk as hell,
Yeah.
man.
She's also passed out by
She
this
also
point.
wants
Well,
some,
yes,
because
I know she's in a
literally
dream.
dreaming.
she wants some D.
But still.
You can't control what you do when you're dreaming. This is Act 1, not Act 3.
Yeah.
They haven't mastered lucid dreaming yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite fun.
I don't know. I'd be scared going through all that corn.
Yeah.
That's because you have watched all
All
8
Children of the Corn
Children of the
movies.
Corn
There's
movies.
8 Children of the Corn
Dude, there are
movies?
so many, and they're so
Yep.
fucking bad.
They're terrible.
Silo time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely setting the mood.
Oh yeah, boiler rooms.
In this movie, you have to stay away from things that are red.
Yep.
Stop.
Also correct.
That's where murder happens.
Well, I mean, if this dude is just going to lay there the whole time, I mean, she's still going to get what she wants.
Yeah.
Or what she's used to, maybe.
Freddie, you need a quieter glove so people
Right.
can't hear you.
I love that they do the that zoom technique that
Right.
they do like in Jaws, where they move the camera in but,
But zoom
the
out.
lens
Right,
out.
right.
So
Yeah.
you get like that weird depth
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I also really like that the metal effect there.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
that's
practical
cool.
where he's pushing through the
Oh,
through the
yeah,
board.
that's like in
Kind of a callback to one of the other
it's
movies.
the first one, the
Yeah.
very first
Yeah.
one, when he knocks the crucifix off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
They do some interesting camera work in this sequence. There's a lot of long shots and, well, not right now, but
Right.
eventually.
So a little bit deeper of an effect I never expected this series of movies to have on me is just the whole idea of not knowing what is real. Like growing up, actually these movies helped me be like, well, that would really suck if I was a crazy person and not able to differentiate real things from, my hallucinations. Like what an awful situation.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that kind of goes in a lot of my interest into Blade Runner, both the first one and the second one, and my interest in the King in Yellow myth cycle when it comes to like Call of Cthulhu stuff, because all that stuff about like memory and what is real and your perception of reality,
Right.
and
It's super interesting and scary.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, JFK.
Just fucking Krueger. That's
Ow.
what that stands for.
Ow.
yep.
That's great.
That's
Aw.
really good.
Like, is
Even
date
I
rape
am
really
like
necessary,
you.
though? Like,
with blade
Yeah.
fingers.
like I get that he's probably on a shit ton of ecstasy, but
It's
That man is pure ecstasy. Look at his hair.
Right.
yeah. It's a weird. Like it's so they can do the gag with Jason. Is
Oh,
more
for
what
sure.
it is, but
it's still like
it's still really an odd. Yeah.
He's still
It's-
like stereo. Like
It's
like,
a way
I
to
get that I'm watching a slasher movie. Like a lot of uncomfortable things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right, but it's like it's a payoff for a gag that really isn't all that good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
It's not.
not that I
Not
don't.
good enough for rape.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any gag that's good enough to justify date rape.
No.
I can't think of one at all, and I don't think I
Nope.
could, if I
Nope,
really
nope,
gave
nope.
it a lot of push, could think of one. But it's a really bad one for this.
Yeah, it's a cheap way to up the body count without making you feel bad.
Yeah.
Ceiling
The only
Krugers.
way this could have been acceptable is like just as you see him like go down, then he gets stabbed.
No, because you're still going for it there.
Oh, okay.
I do like that he switched up his weapon for this little sequence.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
He needs to
just
send it to
hurl
reach.
him into nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Although, no, he hurls him into the party, doesn't he?
Let's see. We'll wait after Freddy has this little freak out.
Yep.
Kruger tantrum.
Nope. He just
No.
kind of goes off to nothingness.
Cornfield Horatio Sands.
They have a whole picture of Everclear. They should be dead.
Right.
Yeah.
And also not smoking near it. Good God.
The fumes. So that's how you become Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, brah. Actually,
He's like Reggie Ray from None Other Teen Movie / Varsity Blues.
right.
Yeah.
Say good day to Reggie Ray.
I do like the little
That's a fun gag.
the poke.
The
Yeah.
poke. The poke is
Yeah.
great.
And
Hey.
just yeah,
Well, how would you want to die?
right. You're next, son. What was there a tiki torch there
No, there was
a moment
not.
ago?
That's my favorite plot hole.
Yep.
Is a sudden appearance
Sudden-
of a tiki
Linder-
torch.
Is a
Linderman.
greasy fat man that conjures tiki torches?
No, Linderman brought it.
Oh yeah. The Linderman's arsenal is endless.
Yeah.
Also, I do appreciate that through this, Jason is sterilizing the machete, so
Right.
he's
Right.
being
Clean
very
cuts.
conscientious to his
Yeah.
victims.
Right.
He's not going to cross-contaminate any
It's-
bloodborne pathogens.
Yeah, it's sterilized and it'll cauterize as it cuts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get
I
information.
love this shot.
That's
I think
so
it's
cool.
so cool.
I think this movie, when this scene was filmed, they had the record for like the longest burn, like stuntman burn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or moving stuntman burn, or something like that.
Okay, so here's who interrupts the party.
Yep. That's a very
I love that
that's a very
little
Sleepy
scene
Hollow
right
kind
there.
of kill.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
like
one
the
you don't anticipate. It's out of character for Jason, so like
To
I
throw a
like it, but I
thing,
also
yeah.
hate it because it's so quick.
Right.
Jason's not known for his agility.
Right.
He's like the slow lumbering. You know,
He is, but he
nice.
has
will
like he
kill you
has
eventually.
like his quick little spurts.
Right.
He does, but I'm like, to me, like whipping up and like throwing a machete with perfect accuracy is kind of out of character for
Right.
him.
We're gonna get Jason fucked up.
I like when he turns
He's all
around. It's
foamy.
kind of like he's
Yeah.
butt chugging the beer.
Yep.
Nice. A beer enema?
His liver is too effective.
Yes. Or non-existent. One of the two.
Yep. He just goes for it here, man.
Like I was saying, like Jason kills a lot of people. Like if you look at like his kill count between his movies and Freddy's, it's like not even close. Jason, I think, is like 200 plus, and Freddy's maybe 30.
Jason kills the Freddy universe.
Pretty much. Same universe, apparently.
That goalie was pissed about something. I feel like that almost made it into a poster as a tagline for this movie.
Yep. What does the
Man's
band
a
say?
rockin',
The
Freddy
sex
Krueger's a knockin'.
something?
Mhm.
Hey, let's all just go home now.
All right.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Everything's fine. See you tomorrow.
Can't find you if you're in your house.
And don't forget, we have another rave in the exact same cornfield tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just bring a hose to help wash away that blood.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't pre-crack your glow sticks this time.
Yeah.
We don't have the budget for,
Right.
for another supply.
I mean, this is kind of one of those like Scooby-Doo moments, though, where it's like something horrible just happened. What do we do? Let's all split up.
Right.
Okay, gang.
I mean, they've got the mystery machine.
They
there.
literally called that the mystery machine later.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. The
Or will
cop.
they?
The guy's like, "How did you find us?" And he's like, "The mystery machine out back wasn't
Oh, yeah.
was a big clue."
Yeah.
Good old Lachlan Monroe. Dude, he's just a weird-looking dude.
His name is actually Blonde McTips.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your day wasn't heavy enough as it is with the whole
Yeah.
cornfield murder.
All right, McJawline. That's
Yeah,
funny.
right. With a fresh sack of roofies. Ah. Ah.
Underage drinking, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be proud.
Yeah, like a normal teen.
Yeah.
Good brews, bad views, and not advocate underage drinking.
Nope.
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I thought he was gonna like suplex him right there when he flips him around that way,
Yeah.
which would have been awesome.
This movie would indeed be improved by suplexes.
Laurie's dad says you don't understand more than Josie from Jeepers Creepers from last year's
Oh,
Halloween.
jeez.
Oh God.
You don't understand.
Running in a white tank top, another great movie trope.
In a,
Yep.
in a s-
Wet white tank
Yeah,
top.
there it
That's
is.
not just horror movies. That's a lot of movies, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I think horror movies use it to
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good extent. Horror movies and dude bro action movies,
Right.
Yes.
which is a specific subset
Also,
of action
I like
movies.
that
dear
until
listener.
now, like, she's never thought to, like, confirm how her mom
Right.
died.
Yeah.
Because clearly, if she had a boy sneaking up to her window, she's old enough to, like, comprehend how death works.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, like mom died in a car
Hopefully.
accident in her own bed. It doesn't seem like that would be
Yeah,
something
like,
that would
how did
work.
that
Car
happen?
bed. Maybe she had a car bed.
Do you not?
I mean, it is a really short road from the kitchen to the bedroom. I get it, but
Maybe she had a race car bed.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, Maxim.
no, I sleep in a big bed with my wife.
Yeah.
Hee-haw.
Okay, it's an Escalade car bed.
Yeah.
Because offering your hysterical daughter who thinks you murdered her mother pills
Right.
is
Take
like
drugs!
the best way to handle this.
Yeah, this is
Hey, if this were
Lori,
like
don't worry, it's a
2013,
suppository.
that totally would have been in character for parents. You're ruining my feng shui, Dad!
right.
Yeah.
So, something interesting about horror movies. So, horror movies are known for extremely, like, reckless and, reckless things. You know, people are drinking, people are smoking, people are having premarital sex. These all came out in the 80s. A very, very conservative time in our country.
Right.
So basically this movie was saying, if you do anything that is not, you know, those conservative values, you will literally die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will be murdered and you will deserve it.
Yeah.
Because we like to
Is
watch
the
people
message.
die, but we wanted to make sure that they like earned their death.
Yeah. But also, horror movies have a lot of strong female characters.
Yeah.
They're typically the female is the one who survives.
Yeah, Last Girl.
Yeah.
final
last
girl.
girl was always...
It's very Cabin in the Woodsy.
So good. We just watched that the other day
Yeah, we
at
did.
a cabin in the woods.
We went to a cabin and then watched Cabin in the Woods
Right.
on a big screen outside of the Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
It's a bunch of random fucking pictures. Wait, is
There's a picture
everything
of
in
a
his
cat in there?
right? Yeah.
It's the same picture.
I'm wondering if everything in his drawer is just dead. Like he's a dead cat, dead friends.
Dead remote control.
Right.
I like how his parents are just
Oh,
like, yeah,
boy.
you can come back and sleep here.
It's all
You broke out of a mental institution.
the creepy voice is all. Oh hi, Mark.
Yeah, like you're the one that's paranoid about Freddy Krueger. Why are you gonna go directly to the source of the Freddy Krueger?
Right.
You dumb idiot.
You dumb idiot.
Yeah, bozo. This is a
You
gigantic bathroom.
bozo!
By the way.
Elon says, beat it, bozo!
I love John Mulaney.
Yeah, also, yeah, this is the biggest bathroom I've ever seen.
I know, it's like the size of my house.
It's like the bathroom from The Shining.
It's also one of the most poorly color
Look
coordinated
at that.
bathrooms.
Look at the size of that bathroom.
Wakeade.
Again, Claire, your favorite things of pills that do what they say.
Drug that tells you what it is.
I do think it's funny that like they have all these fake medicines in the cabinet, and then they have a bottle of Pepto-Bismol just
Yeah.
turned around.
Right.
Well, what else would you have endorse a horror movie?
Yeah.
Mountain Dew Code Red?
Hey.
Well, yeah, probably.
Oh, there's your dead brother.
That's what that's full
Have
of that
fun
bathtub.
looking at your dead brother. Remember how your brother's dead?
This is some good voiceover.
Right.
Little known fact, that's the grown-up version of the tiniest kid from Malcolm in the Middle.
No, it's not.
I know it's not.
I had to think about that really hard.
Because it looks like him.
It does, yeah.
God, I don't know what those are supposed to be, but it looks like it
awful
hurts.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snakes
Random
and then
snakes.
veins.
Yeah, I get. Are those supposed to be his brother's veins? Is that what that's
I don't
supposed
know.
to be?
Like Freddy's done some weird stuff like that before.
Yeah.
Like there's the guy who's driving the bike who he like starts like digging the wires into his hands and shit.
I feel like screaming into the barred window is not the best way to get inside this guy's house.
Or anyone's house.
Fair.
This
Kruger's
beer is delicious
mad.
and mine is almost gone.
Oh, mine's been gone for
Yeah.
several
Yeah, it's been a
minutes.
while.
Oh, so another fun Freddy Krueger story. There was one Halloween where for about 2 hours my Halloween costume was Slutty Freddy Krueger, which is why
I think I've seen pictures of that.
which is why I think Freddy Krueger also holds a special place in my heart because that was like early college years.
I
It
have
was-
seen that picture.
It was like the black and red striped sweater dress sliced very strategically. It had like a really awesome fedora that made me look like a cross between Indiana Jones and Jason Mraz.
Well
I
played.
do like that scenes of just like the cuts appearing.
Yeah. That I'm pretty sure that was a poster.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
The
so.
Freddy's back deal.
I think maybe the reason you don't see more Freddy deaths in this movie is Jason's death are all like very, very quick. You get impaled by something, you get sliced by something, while Freddy's like, I'm going to toy with you for 5 minutes first.
Right.
This is the second movie in a row we've watched where a cop is smoking a cigar.
That's how you know.
John
the chief-
Vernon.
Yep,
Killer
John Vernon
Clowns.
from Killer Clowns.
You guys are interrupting Rip Torn.
All right.
Shut up, Tips.
Right.
How? Okay, they
His name is
How did they
Tips
not name him
Stubbs.
Tips?
Tips Stubbs the Third.
Yes.
Tip
Stubbs,
Stubbington,
Stubbs McTips.
Esquire,
Esquire.
Reginald.
Okay, so Amazon usually has really good subtitles, except right there it said "with all due respect, Sheriff." They forgot
Whoops.
the P in there.
Resect.
Respect.
I'm not gonna listen to you insult me in front of this picture of George W.
Yeah.
That's a really good opportunity for an airplane type joke. Just a picture of him angrily pointing a cigar at somebody in the background.
Oh, there's the meat shop.
Is that the
We
same
love the meat
street from
shop.
Stranger Things?
Maybe.
Could be.
Speaking of Stranger Things, like 3 weeks.
Yarp.
Can't
When this
wait.
episode comes out, it'll already been out for 3 days.
Oh yeah, this is coming out on Halloween.
Day before.
Day before Halloween. I'm into it.
Part of me's like, oh, we should have done this movie before Killer Clowns, and we could have put it out on Friday the 13th.
That would
But-
have been smart.
Yeah, we didn't
Wah,
plan that far
wah.
ahead.
Oh, well.
Wah 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 wah.
Our recording schedule got royally boned when I decided to buy a house.
How dare you,
That's
Max?
rude.
know.
Selfish.
Very selfish.
Right.
You jerk of an adult.
Hashtag adulting.
Ah.
No, my name's Jason Mewes.
Here comes Tips.
Yeah.
That's Sergeant Tips to you, pal.
And he's got his own, like, just small vignettes on local public television for tips. And what
Don't drink and drive.
1-800
Right.
Stop
That's
Crime.
Tips.
Check your Halloween
he's
candy
very-
for razor blades.
He's very concerned about local service industry, so it's tips on tipping.
Right.
He's like Scruff McGruff, but like the young, sexy Scruff McGruff.
In his Jackass spin-off show where
A puppy with tips, with like
right.
Scruff McGruff, the crime dog with frosted tips.
Oh my god.
he's wearing a leather jacket as opposed to a trench coat.
You realize we're gonna Photoshop this, right?
I'm hoping you will. I expect a picture text in a couple days.
And then the spin-off Jackass type show Tips, where he just knocks over farm animals.
Nice.
Again, just this ragtag group of teen super geniuses figures out
Again,
this
I
plot
feel like this is
immediately.
like excerpts from the writer's room.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's funny that, considering we just watched Cabin in the Woods, Ryan, that the kid who clearly is the one on the most pot figures out what's going on
Right.
in the horror movie.
My parents are gonna think I'm such a burnout.
He's like, well, I mean, why wouldn't Freddy just use Jason to come back? Everyone's like, "Oh, I guess so."
That makes sense.
I actually really like that idea a lot.
What,
the
like-
genius pothead?
No, just the idea of just Freddy searching hell for a way to get himself, scared of again.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you
even though
couldn't
this
use
is a
Michael
horrible
Myers.
movie, but the premise is like legit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's yes, concur.
Well, Michael Myers doesn't cross state lines. He's only going after his sister.
Right.
Ooh,
I like-
Sassy Kelly Rowland.
So I think a lot of this movie, it's like, when are they dreaming? When are they awake?
Right.
And I think with this one, it's like, yep, sleeping.
I love the mindfuck of it though.
Yeah.
yeah.
The other scenes, it hasn't been as obvious, but this one has been pretty obvious.
Ugh. Yeah,
I like how they figure out that they can pull him through here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Freddy is just an uber creep though, which they
Yeah.
convey
We
well.
started off as just like this guy who was killing kids, and then they made him into an actual like child molester.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily like he was just starting to kill kids, or if it's almost a weird like character development that as he becomes more and more depraved by like causing more and more pain on these kids, like he just becomes more and more depraved.
Yeah, well, they flesh his background out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, what movie was it? They actually showed like his mom and
The
like
third
his
one.
conception, because that's
The
like
third one.
really messed up.
yeah.
No, I know that they do a lot of that, but it almost kind of like makes sense that as a demon, he starts off kind of just doing his thing,
Mm-hmm.
but then he he kind of
Oh,
learns
there's
more and more about the
Hypnosil,
things he's able to do.
guys.
Yeah.
I
Well,
also like
they
that-
got to do some kind of like weird character development. They're
Yeah.
not- got to do something to keep the people coming. Which is, it's kind of odd though. When you think about film franchises, which one do you think usually makes the most? Like in box office wise, usually it's like the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Nightmare on Elm Street, it's the fourth one. The
Really?
Is that the
Nightmare on
Dream
Elm
Warriors?
Street is the
No,
Dream Master.
Okay.
Dream Master, which refeatures the protagonist from the first movie. But that is the highest grossing Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Huh.
Thank you,
I was
Wikipedia Max.
I was like, by then Wes Craven's not even involved with it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's become like a big
Okay.
thing.
Also, here's the tropiest trope that ever troped: is the stoner cannot do the one task he is assigned to without stopping to smoke a joint.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Also, split up gang, like you
Yeah.
said.
Doom. Doom.
Also, that's like the biggest joint I've seen. Like, can we talk about how gigantic
It's like,
that
yeah,
joint
it's the size
is?
of like a cigarillo.
Gigantor joint.
That was like the same cop from the end of Killer Clowns. What are you doing with those pies, boys?
It's like bald Mr. Feeney with a mustache.
Jeez.
Well, he was eating grapes.
Freebird was out listening to Freebird.
Door squish.
Yeah. Death by door.
First slasher movie, their use of blood is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
bad
like
blood.
Jason Voorhees.
Ah.
This is what I get for having you guys hang out in the cabin all weekend.
You know, this whole podcast hinges on jokes like that.
Right.
Sure. Okay.
Also, when this room is cut back to,
It's creepy.
it's an excellently creepy shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already creepy.
Yes.
The weird hair things.
Or perhaps they were watching this movie.
Mm-hmm. Wah, wah, wah. Your dad is a dick.
Douche dad.
All right. So this brings up an important question about how Freddy works. All the other movies, you have to be asleep.
How does Krueger?
Drunk from, or passed out from being drunk, unconscious from whatever's. He's just high.
Or is he asleep dreaming of smoking more?
I mean, they're all exhausted. Pot makes you sleepy. It's possible he's like lit up the joint and then just passed out.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, that's what happened.
Possibly.
Yeah, so I'm thinking he's just passed out on the fucking console right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, my assumption that he was asleep too. This CGI is horrific.
Yeah, they
It's
should have
2003.
they should have just gone the practical route for that one.
I do like how like that's supposed to be like Freddy
Alice
though,
one.
and it showed like a ripped off hunk of ear.
yeah.
I did like that.
And it's got his like the burn marks on the face.
Yeah, but the ripped off hunk of ear is what I really like.
No, see, I think he's still awake because you see him crawling through the door here. If he did this after he got possessed,
So he's awake now, or is
Well,
he?
no, he's dreaming. He was like, it shows them all moving around when they're dreaming. Like,
yeah, you're right.
Like, what's the girl's name
Yeah.
that got killed? And I'm
Gib.
sporty girl Gib. Yeah, I mean, like she
She went
passed
into
out.
the- yeah,
she
she
was
went in-
passed out in
okay.
the cornfield, but she walked through the
Yeah,
cornfield
so there's
and went
like
through the silo.
sleepwalking and crawling
Yeah.
and stuff.
But yeah, like
So
like
he's
you're
probably
saying,
still. Like that part is legit.
this is
pretty creepy.
the eyes again.
Hypmosil. Why? Why for Goober?
Yeah. That was,
Okay, so here's the thing. Does it cut away to show him trying to? No, never mind. I thought it did. I thought there was a quick second where it showed him trying, like, wrestling with something that wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that part's still cut because he's just dumping right now.
I'm probably thinking of like a deleted scene where they show him like holding like a balloon to represent where the caterpillar is supposed to be.
Linderman.
Who thought cops
Have you
conducted
ever
electricity?
pooped
Right.
a balloon?
I thought Stubbs was
Oh,
going to
there
last
goes
us longer.
Tips. It's Tips, not Stubbs.
Tips. Tip Stubbington.
Stubbs is his actual name.
Stubb Tippington.
I mean, I get it, but there's also something to be said about watching someone literally get electrocuted, it not affect them, and then be like, I'm going to shoot them now.
Right.
That seems like maybe that'll work.
Yeah.
He failed his sand check.
Yeah.
Immobatine! Immobatine! It
That's good.
immobilizes you! Oh my god, I'm so excited that I finally saw the name of that drug.
So, okay, here's a...
Concentrate.
Not for use in
1,000 to
newborns.
1.
I'm not a Freddy scholar like you, Ryan. In any other movie, does he possess a person and use their body to walk around in real life?
Kind of.
Yeah.
The second one,
I
aka
couldn't
the
remember.
gay one.
Mm-hmm. All right.
There's a family who moves in the house, and the boy who's like, it's one of the main few ones that has like a male protagonist, starts having dreams, and like he wakes up and he like, there's a scene where he tucks his sister like into bed and he's wearing the glove, and he kills his gym teacher in a like at the gym in the school, and like he's naked the entire time. He's found sleepwalking like into like a obviously like leather bar, like a gay leather bar.
Okay.
And at the end of that movie, like Freddy like cuts his way out of the guy's body. The guy's like in
That's
his,
right.
He's
Yeah.
like, there's someone inside of me. And then like Freddy like slashes his way through his chest,
That's right. Yep.
but then is saved via the power of love at the end. So
You know, weirdly, store brand Jason Mewes does some very good acting as far as being possessed.
Yeah.
yeah, good facial work.
Yeah.
I like how he was
Again.
kind of like twitching, like he's like struggling to maintain control.
Jason. Cool ass hockey mask.
So I've been playing a lot of Payday 2 recently, and one of the things about that game is you customize all your guns and your masks. And I have a hockey mask that I kind of made look a little bit like Jason's, as far as like the red kind of like slashes on
Yeah.
it and such. So,
Nice.
but I have it be like black/gray.
I did like this, that Freddy wasn't just trying to knock him out, that like he actually had intent to get into Jason's dreams to try to pull this off. He wasn't just trying to immobilize him for a little while so he could take everybody out. He's actually trying to get rid of Jason because he sees him as a true rival right now.
Right. It's where the versus comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he figures like he has to do a lot to really, put him down. You can't just like.
No, because it could have easily, like, when I was first watching it, I didn't think that he would jump into his dreams. So when he did, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. That's a neat idea." Actually,
Yeah.
I liked that.
Like how Jason's like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like the jokiest Freddy gets in this
Right.
movie.
Yeah.
This is also like the most obnoxious, like quote-unquote fight scene. Like,
Right.
the
Yeah.
gratuitous use of slow-mo just frustrates me. Like, I understand it's trying to harken back to, like,
It's
the
also
classic
It's
slasher
also 2003 when slow-mo is all the rage. Thanks, Matrix.
Yeah.
Mm.
I know, but it's just so unnecessary, especially in a scene like this.
Yeah.
I do like the tiles
Yeah, this is
pounding
cool.
a
Yeah.
machete, though.
Yeah.
But he's, super...
Yeah. Nobody calls me Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's super jokey.
Like the pelvic thrust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the pinball.
Me too.
That was one of the things when I saw this movie the first time. I was just so mad about the pinball noises.
Oh yeah, I don't like this scene at all. I'll be honest. That part of the scene.
It really just breaks the mood.
Yeah.
But-
It's no longer horror. It's like joking.
Yeah.
Well,
there is a Nightmare on Elm Street pinball machine.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it completely like...
It breaks the tone completely, but also, who are the sounds for? Are we to think that Freddy's making
I think
these
they're just
pinball
for
sounds
Freddy, yeah.
so
Yeah.
Jason can hear them, or is he just being jokey for himself, or is it only for the audience?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, Freddy likes to joke.
Right,
Like, when you joke, it's not just to get someone to laugh, it's also for your own amusement.
of course.
Yeah.
Like, AKA all of James's terrible jokes.
Yep.
Uh-oh, is this where
The weird
Freddy finds
color
out Jason's
shift
scared of
is...
water? Yeah, I never
weird.
understood that.
I think it's supposed to be like it's more in...
It's morphing from,
Jason's?
like, Freddy's world to Jason's world.
Because it's more water-based.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys, we can stop Jason with fucking Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'd stop in my tracks for some Ecto Cooler.
Yeah, no shit.
So.
Some Ecto Cooler, chilled all nicely. Mm-hmm.
He's definitely got some interesting teeth in this scene.
Yeah,
These are more of the teeth that he has, like, throughout the movie, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I'm intrigued why they went with the fangs at the very beginning.
Yeah.
When they stick with the stumpies for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I honestly think the stumps are grosser than the fangs.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too. Because the stumps are more like
think-
realistic, quote unquote. Like someone's teeth just got super disgusting because he's been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
Like the fangs, it's like someone
you're a
purposely
demon.
filed them
Right.
into fangs.
You're Christopher Walken from...
Prophecy?
No, I was going to say from... Whatchamacallit?
Oh, fucking Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. Ah! That's all he says in that movie.
It's a weird time to start building some empathy for Jason here.
Yeah, well, in comparison to Freddy, it's a character that you kind of empathize with him until he goes on murder rampages,
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he was a kid and
Right.
he died from negligence and whatnot. So,
Oof.
because you kind of do root, at least I root, like, at this point in the movie, I start to root for Jason.
I do
Yeah,
too, 100%.
certainly.
Yeah.
And it's like, it feels weird rooting for someone who is also like a horrible murderous slasher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, Jason just murders because he murders. Like,
Yeah.
Freddy
do it out
is
of-
sadistic.
Yeah, out of
Like,
pleasure
he
or
is
whatnot.
a sadistic, torture, hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite.
fiend.
Yeah. So literally a lesser of two evils.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're cheering for the one who has any sort of quote unquote moral compass.
Mhm.
Yeah. The scene of him putting the blade into the head is actually pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Until it cuts to that stupid CGI
Like
sequence.
yeah,
that
that
was
was
It's
unnecessary.
so bad.
Yeah. Like, because I was thinking about it, like, for being, like, a slasher movie, it's not as gory as it could be.
Yeah. It's not.
There's people getting hit with knives, but it's not... And, like, jets of blood come out, but it's
Right.
not...
Some of the goriest stuff was in the montage at the beginning.
Yeah,
from
when you
previous
see the
movies.
kid being pulled by the veins when
Oh,
he's
that's
puppeteering,
wicked.
that is... Ugh.
That's wicked.
That's when they really start going to the, like, great lengths as far as, like, how he's killing them.
Right.
Like, I think in that movie, he transforms his fingers into hypodermic needles and, like, shoots someone full of dream heroin. Yeah. So. And they just duct tape
Why
them
does
up.
she feel like she's like snuggle with Jason. Though.
Yeah, it seems really weird.
Like she could easily be like knocked out while sitting in the front seat.
Yep.
I like how the film got grainy when it went to the 1950s
Right.
Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
But now it's not. It was just in that little, like, I'm establishing the scene kind of shot.
This is a great... If you
Well,
haven't...
it's like she's still falling into sleep. Like it gets
Right.
clearer the
Yeah.
more asleep she is.
Quick side note, if you haven't seen the movie The Final Girls, I highly recommend it.
I have
Super
not.
funny.
It's
Lots of fun.
super good.
Yeah.
It's definitely that's absolutely worth a watch.
I mean,
Yeah.
whenever I see camp, I just want to watch Wet Hot American Summer.
Right.
So
She's got like what Thaisa Farmiga from American Horror Story. Who
Oh, I
else
love
is in
her.
that? Adam Devine.
They put a burlap bag over Jason's head there for a quick second, which is actually what he wears in the second movie. He doesn't wear the hockey mask until the third one.
Right.
Also in 3D.
3D.
But as we're watching this movie, I cannot stop thinking about that board game that me and you were playing, Ryan.
Last Friday?
Last Friday, which is
Yep.
pretty much just Friday the 13th, the board game,
Right.
where one player plays the murderer, the rest of the player play campers,
Right.
and the game is pretty much a movie across 4 different stages where
Right.
you're playing out different parts of a slasher film.
Right.
So
It's a cool game.
yeah,
It's a long game. Each phase is what 30 minutes
30
to an
minutes
hour,
to
and there are
45
4.
minutes. So it's a overall it's a 2+ hour game,
Yeah.
but you could easily just do it as like I want to play phase 3 or
Yeah,
phase
and
2
they've
or
got
whatnot.
specific rule sets to do just one phase.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely
Same.
a game I want to play with as many people as I can.
Certainly.
mouth to mouth or something.
Yeah.
Linderman,
Everyone just gets
Linderman.
quiet and be like, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do it, dude.
I have asthma. No.
Yeah. They should just be pushing the water out of his lungs at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Air's not going to help.
I don't think they have the
Like-
strength to like get through Jason's big bulk.
And especially since,
Right.
like, they see, like, the American Red Cross that says the chest compressions are more important. You're not even supposed to breathe
Right,
anymore.
right.
You're supposed to just do chest compressions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the recommendation back then was still to continue to do breath though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
At the
it's,
time of
again,
this movie, you mean.
At the time of this
2003,
movie.
4.
Yeah.
2000, yeah.
I mean, it's not going to help in any sense because this is dream water coming from nowhere.
This is
He
true.
doesn't have a finite volume of water in his lungs.
Right.
I like how Will was like, yes, he has asthma. Because I didn't want to be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Things quickly devolve.
Jason just gets like launched out of the car.
Luckily for them.
Geronimo!
Gets skyhooked out of the car. Now we see Mad Freddy.
As kind of silly as this is, it actually looks kind of ominous to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
the-
that's not something I'd want to run into in a dark
like,
pier
oh,
at night.
no. Like, yeah, the ears.
There's the feral
and
Freddy.
Yeah.
I very much kind of liked that look, actually.
Yeah.
If he
Nice
if he would
little
have still
pull.
been wet there, I think I would have liked that scene more.
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably only do so much on top of that makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makeup's much more intricate than it is throughout the rest of the movie.
Wake up.
Before you go.
Before you go. Okay, yeah, we already did that.
Yeah.
You think that scene was the inspiration for the breakout song for Evanescence on the Daredevil soundtrack?
No.
Yes.
Also, do you think that van scene was the inspiration for Christopher Nolan and Inception?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Wake me up in van.
All right, what if we do that scene from Freddy vs. Jason, but it's 20 minutes long?
Right.
Why haven't people, like, burned down that house?
Yeah, no kidding.
Like the poltergeist house where it just kind of disappeared into a blink.
Carrie Ann!
Ow.
Where are you, Carrie Ann?
Yeah.
Jason. Oh, Freddy. Playing with your food.
Ugh. The way like he kind of just like his breathing is just
Yeah.
more unsettling.
Mm-hmm. Need some wake up juice from Back to the Future 3.
Yeah.
You think
Oh,
they
yeah!
have, like, reverse hypnosil in the
Right. He needs
Isn't
a bottle
that
of
just called-
Wake No Tran.
Wake no Tran.
Wake no sleep.
Jason's little known weakness, tables.
Yeah, right. I love this. Pitch step off.
Step
off.
It,
To the left, to the left.
yeah. It hints at what's going to happen to her later.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
This is, I think, like the scene that makes me squick the most.
Yeah.
Because you can,
He's such
you
a
can
creep.
hear it.
Yeah.
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 That camera anglingers. He's a big Captain America fan.
Yeah.
But no, like that camera angle on her face lingers just a second or two too long.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really uncomfortable scene.
Mm-hmm. I like this pull though to wake her up finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Also, like one too many
Gotcha.
bitch lines.
Yeah.
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 Like I know that's Freddy's thing, but
No, it's
I do love the Freddy fear look, though.
too
Yeah.
it's delinquent.
like,
huh?
oh shit!
Well,
Real
there's
roll
having
again.
a thing, and then there's turning your thing into a catchphrase.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to turn into a caricature of yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Like, do we really need, like, a ball-kicking joke for someone who's, like, undead?
Right.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yep.
And this is
I'm
the
like,
most
I'm gonna-
mobile-
I'm gonna throw him out, and then like, nope, I'm gonna just like run you through the wall.
It's
Yes.
the most agile you see him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He has
Minus
like
the
quick
machete
spurts
toss.
of speed.
So he just fucking discus throws him through a roof. This is on my head now.
So Claire, I've tapped into our backup beer because
Oh, good.
we're on episode 1.5 of this, and tell us a little bit about this beer from Ascension.
Oh, I want some.
I do too. It is a rice pale ale, I believe I got, because the one I really wanted to get was not available in growlers.
Oh,
But I'm excited about it because I think I might have had a sampler of it before.
All right. Doing it live, folks. Pouring beer on the air.
it's very bright, and it's
You go first.
a very drinkable pale ale. A lot of flavor to it. Way back in the episode 0, I think is when we went over the beers we like and don't like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not into sours and pale ales. I find very boring. I've since become a huge fan of sours. Just I think the craft's kind of gotten a little bit refined on them, at least over here. And I've had some decently delicious pale ales in the last year and a half. So it's been a good time for beer.
It's different enough to make it interesting.
Noise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a really interesting color.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
It's almost like lemonade.
yeah. Okay, so here we're gonna get my favorite line of the movie from Kelly as she's like taunting him here.
Yeah.
All right. So obligatory Destiny's Child joke here.
All right, I could do without the
slur.
F word slur.
The swear.
I do like the way she says that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the butter knives. Okay, I was like, what?
Ooh.
I do love a good dick taunt joke.
2 dick jokes in the span of about 3
See,
minutes.
Teensy little things, and Jason's got this
Big ol' thing! Look behind you, girl.
Oh shit.
I do like that though.
Yeah.
Like I normally don't like Freddy like breaking character, but
Yeah.
I really appreciate that little behind you moment.
I like the impact on the trees.
Right,
See, like
thud.
the
Yeah.
branch, like the bark crack.
Because I don't think it's Freddy that kills Kelly. Because Jason's got machetes for your babe.
Wow. Well done, Ryan. Bravo.
Taking a bow.
Come on.
That sounds like okay. We got them fighting in the movie. What more do you guys want?
I know.
God.
It's
We gave you enough. Just go home.
But yeah, they're like they've pretty like even the protagonists are like we've sided with Jason.
Yeah.
right.
So this scene where he's just jabbing his fingers into his gut at the very beginning is really brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of go back and forth between like who has the upper hand.
Right. Which is good.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
like
had the
this
dream
fight.
sequence when Freddy was at the upper hand. Then like I'm gonna toss you around a cabin for 5 minutes.
Right.
Not that long, but so now they're like okay, Freddy's got it now, and then so
Like, why are there these giant gas canisters? Like, just plot device?
Because movies.
propane and
lots
propane
of us.
accessories.
There's a lot of scuba-ing going on.
Right.
And,
At Crystal Lake.
But the camp is closed. They're obviously building condos.
Yeah, they're building condos. So welding, I guess.
I don't know. Impromptu paintball?
Scooping.
And I like this little sound effect coming up from Jason. Just like cracks his spine.
Also, Mythbusters confirmed that myth about the compressed air tanks.
that they'll fly around like that?
Yep. They went through all of...
Oh,
on their-
I believe it. We talk about that in
Yeah.
Chem-Eng safety courses.
Yeah.
They go through concrete walls.
Yeah, they blew through all of their initial safety walls.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I have to move, like, big CO2 canisters like that at work a lot, and I'm always terrified that I'm gonna, like, knock it over and just
Like,
destroy my building.
Yeah.
Because, like, I have a little cart to push into the lab, and then there's, like, a little stand that it goes on where it's chained
with the
up.
little chain.
But I have to, like, roll it
Like, yeah.
from
like
the cart
that little, like,
up,
1
like,
foot.
an inch step
Ooh.
to the rack. And
Yeah.
I'm always terrified I'm going to explode my lab. Like, that's a good way to get fired, I guess.
This
This is an all too real moment for me. Not this falling off, but when the cart gets stuck on like a little nick on the side of the thing, like that happens to me all the time when I'm moving stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on!
I like how this crane thing is like still moving.
It's just perpetual energy. The,
Yeah, so,
the
yeah,
overdrawn yelp is
so-
weird.
Do you think that they almost overcompensated with Freddy talking this much because Jason doesn't speak?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, Freddy's always been a taunter. Like, there's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
no
he's
denying that.
he talks a
He
lot.
likes to torture his victim. He does it through quote unquote comedy.
But I think they do have to add in,
You can't just have two
little
people like
extra.
silently fighting, unless it's a martial arts movie. But still,
like, Bulletproof Monk.
Enough.
Even though I think they gave
Enough.
Sean William Scott a lot of quips.
yeah. I was gonna say like the Raid, but okay.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
raid.
Well,
Excellent.
Well, I want to try and make as many Bulletproof Monk references as possible because I don't think that movie has been spoken about
Ooh,
since
yeah.
2004.
I'm gonna need more
forgot
beer
about
if you're
its
doing that.
existence.
Yeah.
Also, this beer is very good. I agree with you
Yeah.
guys. This is real good.
I'm glad I
Whoever,
made a good last minute
yeah.
in the moment choice.
Whoever said this tastes very bright is
I
absolutely
said
correct.
that. Yeah. Like, if you didn't tell me, I think this might have been a New England IPA.
It does have a similar
It's a little
taste.
little juicy.
It's definitely cloudy.
And where was this from again? Ascension,
Ascension.
right?
Yep.
Ascension.
Just down the road. It's a great little brewery. They got good food too.
Yeah. There's a my go-to drinking place in Ann Arbor is Wolverine Brewing, just due to location, hours, and not always super crowded and wonderful food. And they have a lemon radler right now called Wheelbarrow Weekend that this really reminds me of.
Yep.
That's a brutal sequence here.
Oh, right there.
Right there,
The-
or
no,
there was when he was
the-
chopping him in the back and the,
the whole-
chunk flew
the whole
off.
thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
sequence. I mean, he's just brutalizing.
But that eye
body.
one really gets me.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the orc running in Lord of the Rings, running
Yeah.
into the...
Yeah.
So
Like, why
fun,
did you feel the need to get the last word though? You could have
fun
just thrown
fact.
it and
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. But this upcoming
Oh.
sequence right here with the explosion on the lake, 25,000 gallons of propane.
Really?
Wow.
Yep. I'm gonna just stab you with my stubby fingers.
Just reminiscing about playing Just Cause.
Like how he pulls his arm off just like he did in the dream.
Yep.
And, yeah, well, I'm gonna stab you with your own knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you get for waking up the guy who can't die.
Right.
Yeah.
I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
So, what do we think Kruger's powers are when he's not in a dream?
He
He's
still has
agile and has some stabby hands.
He still has some little psychic abilities because he was using his mind to move around the bucket. But that's about it.
Was he using his mind?
Yeah, because he was like, yeah. Viewers cannot see, but I just jerked my head forward in a I'm using my mind to move something motion.
Right. Whee! So that's been like what, the third ridiculous bodies flying to the horizon shot?
That's been
Yeah.
throughout the entire movie. When Rave Man was killed,
Oh right.
Yeah.
Let's not give him a cute little nickname. He was Rape Man, not Rave Man.
Raver,
Rape Rave.
Raver,
Rape Ravington.
Rape Raverson.
Rape.
That sounds like a 1960s like news reporter. Rape Raverson.
I'm Rape Raverson with tonight's special report. A lake was lit on fire,
Here's
and one
your white
busty
shirt motif
blonde
again.
woman. Does she have a tattoo in her
She
back?
does. She got a little
What is it
lower back
of?
tattoo.
I can't
I
tell.
wasn't sure if
Like
that
a
was a
Sacred
tattoo or
Heart.
just like I got burned.
No,
Literally.
it's a tattoo.
Yeah.
It's ink.
When she's crawling out of the water, it's a lot clearer.
Okay.
than
Yeah.
it's-
It would be funny if Jason just slowly sank into the lake and did like the Terminator 2 thumbs up into the water.
He doesn't have any thumb though. He lost it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, he has another hand.
So, would you have liked it if they cut the movie before they showed who was there?
Nah.
I mean, a lot of things would have been better than how it actually ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. He almost does do the thumbs up. I feel like one of his hands is still above the water at the end.
Dun, 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 dun.
The movie would have been better if that would have just fallen on Will. Been like, oh no, Will's dead now.
Yeah. You thought you
This
could
is-
make it through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The claw through the chest is, I think, how he also dies in Freddy 6.
Yeah. I do like the reuse of
Yeah.
her saying bitch.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I read on Wikipedia the original ending was supposed to include Pinhead.
Um,
Like they were gonna loop Pinhead into this.
What?
Yeah.
I might have heard that, but
But
there
they
is...
didn't. They couldn't
there-
afford the rights. To
Okay,
Pinhead.
there is an alternate ending to this. I think it was the original ending that they changed because of audience reception, and I'll get into it after this ends.
Yeah, no, the original ending back when they were still in the writers' room had Pinhead coming in and killing both of them, but they didn't want to buy the rights to Pinhead.
Yeah. I haven't read The Telltale Heart by Clive Barker, but I do enjoy a lot of his short stories. He does some nice short stories.
There's a different Telltale Heart that isn't Edgar Allan Poe.
Hellbound Heart.
Okay,
Hellbound Heart. That's
There
what
it
it's
is.
called.
I was like, bitch, what you talking about?
That's a lot of fire.
25,000 gallons of propane.
It'd be very, very warm where they are standing.
Yeah.
This movie has a very just unceremonious close to just all of the humans' endings. It's just
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
it.
so here we'll see the ending,
Quote unquote.
quote unquote. Yep, up. Jason comes back out of the water.
The
His
continuation of
Chickamama.
Freddy breaking the fourth wall as much as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the original ending. The couple go back to the house. They start having sex. It gets
Which
a
is
little
what
rough.
you do after everyone you know gets murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They start having sex, which is a little rough. It's like, ooh, and it pulls back, and his hand pulls back, and knives come out of his hand.
Oh.
So,
would
it
like
tested
that.
poorly with audiences because they thought it was like favoring Freddy, or it was like, oh, he's a son of Freddy or whatever and whatnot. So, it's, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess
I mean,
it really
I think- I
depends
think,
on. I guess it really depends on. Do you want it to be more of like an even kind of split, like it was there, where he's ahead but he's alive, or?
I think the original ending would have been the more horror appropriate ending. Which
Yeah.
I think,
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter if they're because I think since the movie is Freddy versus Jason, you almost want there to be a clear quote unquote winner.
Yeah.
And with the original ending, if it shows knives coming out of the guy's hand, like it declares a winner, which I think
Yeah.
is if
You
you're
know-
if you're insinuating this head-to-head battle, there needs to be a winner of the head-to-head battle.
And it,
See,
you know,
with I will say with the current ending that they use of Jason walking out of the water, I kind of give it to him. He's missing a couple fingers, but he's not just a head.
right. But with the ending that you described, Max, the one that they didn't go with, it's interesting because it still doesn't declare a winner in an absolute sense, right?
Because the two of them are absent from the
Right.
entirety of it.
Maybe
Yeah.
they've just become separate, and that might be an interesting way to end the movie, to show that they can't overcome one another. So maybe have that ending with Kruger, but maybe also another ending to show that Jason's still around too, and they've just kind of
And she pulls on the
separated.
mask.
Yeah.
So
Well, that movie's over finally.
Yay.
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 All right, so view again, brew again. We'll start with James. Now he is yawning,
James,
so we'll start with Ryan.
James. This is a long yawn.
Yep.
It was.
The longest yawn.
Yep. No, I will never watch this movie again.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of ways, I kind of find the movie boring. I don't
Yeah.
think it does a lot with what it has. I think there's a lot of interesting things they could have done with this movie, and they kind of scratch the surface here or there, but they really don't go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we tease some movies for not going for it sometime, or for going for it maybe too much, but there are a lot of other movies that we've watched on this podcast where we say, like, you know what, I'll give it to them. They really go for it
Right.
here. And I don't think with the material they had to work with that they did enough. And that speaks to what you talked about, Max. There's not enough interesting Freddy sequences in this movie.
Right.
Because, like, the shadow scene is really quick, but that's
Right.
one of the more interesting and cool effects in the whole movie.
Right. And I want to talk about that after we wrap up, but anyway, go
Okay.
ahead.
Brew again. Yeah, I drink both of these beers actually. Warlock is good. I enjoyed that, but I'm actually really finding this rice.
Oh, it's super
pale
good.
ale, compelling.
This is very yeah. It is a very enjoyable beer. I poured myself just a small glass of it, but I'm gonna have that growler make its way back over here
Wink, wink.
while we are talking about wrapping up this movie.
Lock gazes with
There's
Claire.
also a third question after we finish this. No, I'll do it now while we're pondering stuff. Freddy or Jason? If you had to have a clear winner of the fight, or if a movie directed by you, who do you have being the winner?
Well, I'll say in this movie, I think Jason's kind of the clear winner. Freddy doesn't do much until the very end, and even then, I mean,
Yeah, even if he just exists as an additional head to make it back to Jason's little shrine or whatever, his
Throw
repository
you
of
in the closet.
Right, right.
like Jason kind of wins this movie.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
he does the work.
Yeah, he does the work. He wins mostly the fight at the end.
Yeah.
And I mean, from an audience perspective, he has everyone rooting for him, so he wins in that sense
Yeah,
as well.
it's when they walked out of the water and Freddy like winked.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, all right. Well, I mean, I get it. Like,
yeah.
that's what they have to do. But, and like I said, I like Jason better, so I would have gone with a Jason win anyway.
Well, I mean, with the Freddy movies, they're always going like, all slasher movies of the ambiguous ending of, he's not really dead.
Uh-huh.
But Freddy ones have always been a lot more like abstract as far as it's not like you see the entirety of the body. It's like some weird little thing.
Yeah, no, and almost for this movie, that's what I mean. Like they really didn't use Freddy.
Right.
Like they didn't. Use
Oh,
him
yeah.
around. Like his big dream sequence is him fighting Jason.
All right.
Yeah.
In a locale that we've seen before.
Yeah.
In a way that's been
Multiple
shown
times.
before.
Doing nothing particularly interesting. He's just like
Yes.
Superman standing in the street punching face with Doomsday fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm half listening and half steeping in this excellent Kill Switch Engage song. There's a lot of crap music in this movie, but Kill Switch is top notch. Moving on.
All right. Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah,
next.
Max. Point to Max. Max got the finger guns.
Yeah, so I would only watch this again if I would pull the Ryan Everard I'm watching all the Children of the Corn movies.
Fair.
Like, I think... Like, I haven't seen a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I've seen scenes from a collection of them.
Yeah.
If I was going to pull the Children of the Corn marathon like you did this summer, that might be the only reason why I would rewatch this. I own this DVD because I was kind of like into it. I was in the idea of just like, oh, we're taking a bunch of different properties and mashing them together. Because at the time, there weren't a lot of other movies like this. There weren't film franchises outside of it. There weren't expanded universe films like we see now.
Right.
Where they're like, oh, this needs to connect to that and blah, 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 and whatnot.
Yeah, it hadn't been explored yet.
This has been teased for such a long time from the end of Freddy vs. Jason, after Jason goes, end of Jason Goes to Hell.
Right.
When Jason goes to hell, Freddy's claw comes up, grabs the mask, and pulls it down. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a thing.
I squeaked with cheer when I saw that. I was so ready.
Yeah.
Sploosh.
So, because I got in this movie right when I was allowed to watch R-rated movies by myself. Because I was like 14 or so. So, the beers, yeah. Warlock is... I have a lot of difficulty saying, like, when people ask me, what are your favorite beers? Like, I really stumble upon, like, well, I kind of like, and then... But Warlock and Hop Slam are two of the beers I'll be like, yep. I like those
Them's
ones.
good.
So... Ryan.
Oh,
sorry. I was the movie. A lot of the stuff I've already talked about.
Sure.
That I brought up with James. There'll be more things I bring up when you have stuff to say because it'll probably overlap with what you.
Sure. Actually,
I don't want to rob you of that.
No, that's cool. Claire? Can I pass the ball to you because I kind of want to end.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Jason. Jason is who I think wins this movie.
Oh, right.
So start with the easy questions.
So view again, brew again.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna start with the brew again because that's the easier question for me. Yes to both. I think I made a good snap decision.
You did.
With this rice pale ale, which is delicious. View again. This movie, God no. No. But what it does for me, at least, it makes me want to go back and re-experience a lot of the Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and even like Halloween movies.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
'Tis the season.
I haven't
Certainly.
Like Halloween, like the series, not even just. Like,
I know what you meant by John Carpenter.
Because I want some Mike Myers
He's gonna be
too.
in town next month.
Because this movie is horrible, but it reminds me why I started liking so many of these characters, and I haven't seen them in years and years and years. I agree that this movie didn't go far enough. When I was a kid, at least, Freddy and Jason both were like some of the most terrifying things that I'd ever experienced up until that point. And this movie, like, I don't remember if I said this in take 1 or take 2, but like I am the key demographic for horror movies in that I put myself through them, but I'm the biggest wimp in the universe. So I want to be scared, and this movie at no point scared me.
Right.
It had gory moments, it had good Freddy moments, it had good
tense.
It had some tense moments, but there was nothing that was legitimately horrifying, which is what I remember from a lot of the older Freddy and Jason movies.
Right. It's got a few instances of like legitimate creepiness.
Yeah. I think when you're trying to put two huge names in one movie, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff, and unfortunately trying to cram it into this movie meant it didn't go very far, and it turned into a caricature of a horror movie instead of a true terrifying horror movie.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause they have to balance the Freddy stuff with the Jason stuff and the human plot.
And at the end of the day, that just might not work. Like, they are two different characters. Like, Freddy is like the psychological, twisted, sadistic, horrible child pedophile / murderer.
Right.
Like, Jason is like this tortured child who grew up, died due to negligence and just kills.
Yeah.
So, like, at the end of the day, they're, like, doesn't even make, like, as much as we want to see them in a movie together because they're two of the biggest names in horror, does a movie with the two of them make sense? And after seeing this one, like, you kind of have to say no. Like, the way they wrote the script to, like, how Freddy uses Jason to, like, bring him back into the world, like,
that works.
It's a good storyline. It makes sense. But it's executed so shoddily
Yeah, it's bad.
that it's like, why are these two big names even in the same room together?
Right.
Because, like, it starts off with him saying, like, oh, Jason will get the kills, but I'll get the glory. And then he's like, wait, Jason's getting all the kills. I'm pissed now.
Yeah, so it's like, it goes against the entire, like, 5-minute long exposition at the beginning of the movie,
Which I think is a great sequence, sorry.
Which I think it's a great sequence, but if you're going to set up this whole movie to be Freddy is using Jason as his pawn, and then have Freddy be pissed about Jason being his pawn,
you're too good of a pawn.
Sense. Yeah. But
At least for the plot as they used
for
it.
the plot as they used
yeah.
it, I think that if they had stuck to just what was in the exposition and fleshed that out as a whole movie, it would have been better. If they had stuck to what actually happened in the movie and reintroduced it, I think it could have been better. But I think the clash of how they introduce it and then how they execute it makes it a questionable at best movie.
Right.
But Freddy versus Jason, I was always more terrified as Freddy as a kid. So I would like to see a movie where Freddy is a clear winner. In this movie, I do feel that Jason is more of the winner, because I found myself getting annoyed by Freddy, which is not something I ever anticipated happening in anything Friday the 13th related, just because I've always been so terrified of it.
And my cat's
Dub's
just
running about.
tear ass around the house. It's interesting. Well, you made me think of something thematically that's interesting. So Freddy is a pedophile and murders children, and Jason really is just a tortured soul of a child, which is kind of an interesting parallel.
Yeah.
Between the two characters there.
I'd say there's more in common with Jason and Michael Myers.
Oh, obviously.
Depending on how far you go into that film franchise.
Just the
where
silent slasher.
Well, about the silent slasher, but
Like, I almost want to see a Jason versus Michael Myers, but I almost feel like it would be boring.
Or Jason versus Leatherface, I think would be a little more appropriate, because, I think I think Leatherface has a little more personality than, and he doesn't just go after his family, that in comparison with Michael Myers, but, sorry, Ryan,
No, that's fine.
Just like,
go right ahead.
I think, like, thinking of the two film franchises, like, Freddy's movies are so much, like, dripping with atmosphere, kind of, because you have all the different dream sequences, and like we were saying, the ones that they have in here, they're all pretty much the same. It's always the boiler room, or like the one like good Freddy sequence is in the hospital, which it's like it's using the one in the bathroom's okay, but it's really it's the only kill he gets, but like it's just that sequence in the hospital where the sleeping kids have woken up, like that's a great scene. That is probably one of the best scenes in the movie. It's very, very I would say it's unsettling, but it's creepy. It's got a lot of
it's unsettling. You're right.
And you get throughout a lot of the Freddy sequences some of that, but there's too much of the same location. It's always the house or it's always the boiler room.
Well, I think a lot of it's the issue is they're trying to jam at this point like 2 decades of lore and of canon into an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it's not just 2 decades for one character. It's 2 decades for 2 very specific, very fleshed out, with complete backstories, complete families, yada, 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 yada. You're trying to cram that into an hour and a half, and there's no way you can fully encompass it without the weird flashbacks, without the exposition, and it ends up losing so much, in my opinion.
Okay. All right, Ryan, why don't you jump in, wrap this up, and I'm sure everyone else will jump in at some point.
Sure.
We're, like, I've been trying to hold back a little bit on some of my stuff.
And if someone wants to pass me that growler,
I can do.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the worst thing. Just try not to bump any of the buttons and have another technical
growler. Well, while you're playing, Claire's got it, so we can start with that. All right, Ryan, view again, brew again, Freddy or Jason.
All right, so let's do it this way. I'm going to start with brew again. Both beers were good. I'll start with the Warlock as a quote-unquote pumpkin beer. Yeah, it was good. I like it. It was thick, creamy. Again, not a lot of pumpkin in it, but it was enjoyable. So I'm glad I don't have to bash your favorite beer. But for the rice pale ale, this is great.
Yeah, surprising.
I like this a lot. So thank you, Claire. This is just delicious. So thumbs up to Ascension for bringing a pale ale into my life that I like well. Hold on. Beer time.
He's trying it. Oh, he's enjoying the nice frothy head.
It's so good. It's so good.
Show you a nice frothy head.
Okay. So again, a little bit out of order. So who wins this movie? Jason. Jason wins this movie. for the reasons we talked about a moment ago. But one of my biggest gripes with this movie, and we've kind of talked about it already as far as not tapping into its potential as far as subject matter, but it's one of the things that, as for a movie person, that this always ruffles my feathers, and I hate it. It's a very insincere movie to the source material. A lot of times it's a cash grab. It's fan fiction that made it to the big screen.
Oh, 100%.
Essentially, it's just a cash grab, and it's kind of soulless.
I don't know if I would really agree with you on that.
I think they started, in my opinion, at least they started with good intentions. Like at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, it was very clearly set up for this. Like,
but
if
if this movie had happened like a year or two after that one, I would have said yes. I can't remember when Jason Goes to Hell came out. I want to say it was mid-90s, like 96, 97. There's a good amount of time between the two movies.
Oh yeah,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
But it took that. Like, I also was. I mean,
that could have been like
I
developmental
was reading
reasons.
the Wikipedia article,
Okay.
too. Like there was a lot of issues trying to get the rights to both Freddy and Jason. They had to go through a lot of rewrites. They went through a lot of issues casting Jason.
So yeah, being stuck in production hell forever is often the kiss of death, right? I mean, I get that. But we had also talked about how the utilization of Freddy is a little underwhelming, and the dream sequences and stuff. And I would like to talk about remakes a little bit. So this movie was remade, right? Well, both series were rebooted.
This was the final. This is the final Robert Englund and Ken Kirzinger's one.
Before we went to Jackie Earle Haley, and then the Marcus Nispel directed Friday the 13th, which I haven't seen, but
it
starts strong, is what I heard. I don't know.
It tries to make Jason seem a little more moral at some point, and it makes him seem a little bit more intelligent.
Sure, that's
like he
kind of
sets
what
up
I've heard.
like Ringer, like he has like a little like quote unquote base where he's kind of like, this is where I stay when I'm off screen, and he has like bells kind of set up and like, oh, someone's moving in the woods over there.
Right. He's humanized.
Then he goes like,
and I don't know if I'd like that because I don't see Jason.
He's
as
not
an
very
intelligent person.
Right.
Okay.
Like, to me, he is
it's been a long time. It was back in college,
he's
but that's what I can.
machete wielder, and that's who he is because he was so neglected and abused, and has no brain capacity past when he was 7 years old at camp.
Yep.
Right.
Freddy vs. Jason was 1993, so this is a decade after. Or excuse me, Jason Goes to Hell 1993. So this is
a full 10
after.
years. So anyway, so about remakes and utilizing Freddy, the Jackie Earle Haley Nightmare on Elm Street was mediocre at absolute best. And between these two characters, as far as which would be better executed and just actualized with today's technology, Krueger lends himself to the power of special effects that we have now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still be very atmospheric and creepy and disturbing with practical effects. It's been done for a long time. However, a lot of the weird reality-bending stuff that Krueger is capable of would really, I think, be a lot more impactful in a movie today.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think if
right?
if Nightmare on Elm Street came out for the first time ever this year, I think it could compete with it as one of the highest grossing horror movies of all time.
Yeah.
Because of what they could do with it.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen some parts of the new Nightmare on Elm Street with Jackie Earle Haley, and like you're saying, with today's technology, like they do some really cool things. Like the ending scene of that movie is Freddy Krueger reaches through the mirror shatters, he grabs the protagonist's mother, pulls her into the mirror, and the mirror reforms.
Mm-hmm. It's another case.
Like it's conceptually, it's like, oh, that's something you could do with practical. It wouldn't look as
right.
polished.
It wouldn't look as seamless.
Yeah, it looks pretty seamless. I mean, it was back in like 2010,
I want to say. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I didn't see it.
Produced by Michael Bay.
I was really bad at seeing movies when I was in college.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
there wasn't a good theater from where we went to school.
Right. And that's another case where that movie again felt insincere to me. I mean, it did some cool stuff, and they tapped into the horsepower of the special effects a lot of times, but it was just sloppy execution a lot.
Well,
more
that's
often than
also
not.
a time when Hollywood got remake crazy because you also had Rob Zombie Halloween and the new.
I liked the first one quite a bit.
Yeah.
You're on your your third or second or third Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot film.
The first
prequel.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, that was, I thought, pretty good actually, was directed by the guy who directed the Friday the 13th reboot, Marcus Nispel, I think is the
That
guy's
came
name.
out when I was in high school, so you guys would have been in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in college for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one.
Speaking of what you just said, Ryan, talking about concentration on effects and everything else in a horror movie. I don't think that's a modern problem when it comes to horror movies, though. I mean, no matter what era it's been, there's been horror movies that haven't really done much because they've concentrated on effects as opposed to atmosphere and tension.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's one of those things where the same way that action movies get obsessed with long, drawn-out gun battles that are really boring, you get a lot of horror movies that have a lot of just boring special effects.
Sure.
It just doesn't, doesn't matter.
I think here that's something worth noting about those is horror movies are known for having very, very small budgets. Mm-hmm. This movie had a $30 million budget, made 115. It puts it at the highest Nightmare on Elm Street budget, or highest Nightmare on Elm Street grossing film. The second highest Friday the 13th.
Wow. I mean, I believe it.
Nightmare on Elm Street, the top grossing film, is the fourth one at 64.8. Friday the 13th, I think it's the first one. Don't quote me on that.
Well.
177. Neither of them comes close to Halloween. Halloween 265.9. These numbers are adjusted for inflation of 2017.
And I think the horror genre is really interesting too. In my opinion, I mean, obviously correct me if you disagree, it's harder to find mediocre horror. It's either really bad or really good.
Yeah.
Like romantic comedies, there's tons of mediocre movies. Dramatic movies, comedies, there's tons of mediocre movies. In my opinion, there aren't really many mediocre horror movies. Most of them either fall into extremely good or extremely bad,
or at least relative to the other genres.
Relative to the other genres.
I would say the only kind of mediocre horror movies are the more culty kind of ones, where for all intents and purposes, they're not. Maybe they are that great just because in comparison to, like, I watched Pumpkinhead last night. It's Halloween times. I'm watching horror movies. Great creature design, great lore to like how the monster works and whatnot. Kind of a good atmosphere because it's in like Appalachia, which isn't a setting you see a lot in horror movies. I feel like supernatural horror movies.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it. I don't know if I'd rewatch it though. Maybe if I just want to notice some like the creature kind of slightly changes across the movie. Like as I was watching, I'm like, is it getting larger or the feature's changing? And afterwards, I'm like, oh yeah, it definitely was. So I would rewatch it, trying to pick up more on those how exactly does
seeing
the
how it
progress?
evolves.
Yeah.
But
so I'm going to disagree with you in one genre you mentioned,
Okay.
and the reason I bring this up is that I think it speaks to the nature of both genres.
Sci-fi.
No, I think that it's really I think it's hard to find mediocre comedy movies. I think comedy movies either fall flat or they're funny.
Yeah,
that's fair.
And I think, and the reason I bring that up is because I think it speaks to what you're trying to say is that good horror movies do very specific things.
Right.
And I think good comedy movies are doing a very specific thing, and that makes those two genres hard to work in. I think, and both of those things, to speak to your point, Max, you don't see comedy movies with giant budgets either.
Right, rarely.
You rarely see comedy movies that get huge budgets,
Unless it's like a super
big.
Unless it's like a Will Ferrell movie or a Ben
unless
Stiller
it's like an
movie.
ensemble cast or
Right.
Or like Pluto Nash. I think that movie was expensive. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Galaxy Quest.
which has become a cult hit.
Yeah.
But
Pluto Nash used a lot of the same touch as Judge Dredd from 1993.
So I think
that's interesting.
That speaks. They kind of speak to each other
Yeah.
as like you're as a horror movie needs to have certain things. So you can kind of go different ways with horror movies.
I think that horror is interesting in that way is that there's so many subgenres within horror.
Right.
Right.
And comedy doesn't have all those subgenres, but at the same time, you're trying to really do something. You're trying to scare the audience. You're trying to get them tense. You're trying to do these kinds of things, just like it's trying to make them laugh. And it's all about timing in the same way with each other.
Yeah, I've never. You're right. The timing is the biggest
atmosphere.
key.
Timing and atmosphere.
And comedy and horror are the two biggest things.
And that's what you're going to hit on those two genres, because jokes aren't going to be funny if they're not timed right, and jokes won't be funny if they're not in the right context and atmosphere too.
Yeah,
good point.
And I think good comedy and horror are movies that can stand the test of time. As far as like this was scary
I
back.
still laugh at Caddyshack.
Right.
Yeah. Ghostbusters.
Original
Ghostbusters is a prime example.
Yeah.
The movie was funny back then. It's funny now. You get
See, you
different
say
things
that-
from that movie as you watch it. As you grow up, you notice different things.
Anybody that I know that didn't watch Ghostbusters as a kid watches it now, and they hate it. I've shown it to multiple people.
I feel like that is a movie you have to see at a formative age.
If
to
you
really
show that movie
appreciate
to
it.
adults that have never seen it before, they think
That's
it's
very
stupid.
interesting.
They hate that movie, and that's sure it's anecdotal for me, but that's like 4 or 5 people I know that watch Ghostbusters after they turned like 20, and they think they don't get it.
I've actually heard that quite a bit also, which is
I-
a shame.
They don't
That
understand
is-
how it's funny.
That's very odd for me personally, as I don't know anyone who's gone that long without watching Ghostbusters. It's not like someone getting to age 20 now watching Blade Runner. I can get that. I didn't watch Blade Runner until I was like 17 or 18 or whatnot. But for me, Ghostbusters, it's kind of always been around. Like I remember clips of the cartoon, the first one,
Right.
the second one, and my father had a very well worn Ghostbusters TV shirt, or Ghostbusters T-shirt, just the logo, Ghost with the thing through it, that I can remember him wearing at a very, very young age. Oh, like when I was very young, I can remember seeing that shirt and knowing what it was. I may not have seen the movie, but I recognize the iconography as that is for the movie Ghostbusters.
Well, that's a curious question for listeners. If you've actually lasted this long into this episode,
Not likely.
not likely. If you know someone who saw Ghostbusters as an adult, or if you are one, do you like that movie? I think that's an interesting question.
I know.
Because
I know a couple people who will respond to this.
okay,
Particularly friend of the show, Spencer, from Mix 6. That's one of his favorite movies. His dog is named Murray.
Nice.
Like that is his that is his movie. So
The mole right above my cleavage, I like to call the gate master. That's looking for the key master.
when I worked at Target, and I had the keys to the electronics things, like people were like, "Are you the key? Are you the gatekeeper?" I'm like, "Yes." And are you the key master? Or whatever. I had a joke with a customer about like getting video games for them or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I don't know if that's just something that I've dealt with, but you said you've had. That
I've
same
heard the
thing,
same,
Ryan,
yeah.
and Claire, you said the same thing.
I
So
have.
I don't know if that's just one of those things where those.
Well,
Like you get entranced by it a little bit as a kid and enjoy
certainly.
it more and more?
I mean, there's always the nostalgia factor to
Yeah.
to a formative
but here's
experience.
the thing, though, like those movies for Ghostbusters in particular, for all of the people in this room, came out before we were born.
Yeah, so we grew up watching it on TV
Yeah.
all the time. Is likely
Like I distinctly
Part of
remember
the
watching it
equation.
when I was like 5-6 years old on
Yeah.
like, UPN 50 on like their Sunday morning movies.
Yeah, so okay, so here's a good example actually. So Ghostbusters was re-released for its 30th anniversary in theaters not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Kayla had never seen it, so I took Kayla, and she was kind of just like, eh.
Yeah, Katie was the same. Katie like stopped watching the movie with me. She's like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, so I don't know, man.
And I know,
No offense to your wife and your girlfriend, but I'm not surprised by either of those people not like enjoying the movie.
but that's not the only people. Like I said, I know 4 other people.
Oh, okay,
that are that way.
right. Like I was trying to think, like when you're
So-
naming, when you said 4 people, I'm trying to think of like who do you know that I also know that would not be a fan of.
No, these
those
are people
movies.
you wouldn't necessarily know.
Okay, like I wasn't, I was trying to think of like if it was anyone that mutual people, I guess. But I don't know.
Getting a little off topic, but that's okay.
Yeah. No, but I'll. Well, yes and no, because a lot of like Orion was saying about the fear of horror movies is like things that are ingrained with you as a child. Like you're probably, like you said, you had nightmares about Freddy Krueger probably before you actually saw, or maybe
It was after I had seen some Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
okay.
And I may not have seen them in their entirety, but I had seen enough to just fuck
To
me
be
up
terrified
for
of
a
it,
long
yeah.
time in my dreams.
Yeah, like I used to go through the horror section of Blockbuster, just like walk through and like look at the movies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
being like, oh, what's that?
Like,
What's
I'm the
that?
kind of person that sees a horror movie poster and I have nightmares about it. Like, I'm a wimp.
Yeah, like, and that was kind of me being like, oh, I'm gonna walk through this section, look at these boxes, read the descriptions, and try to not be afraid of what I'm reading. I guess, or like I remember I once went to the FYE store at Lakeside Mall.
That's an old-fashioned sentence.
Yeah. And, they used to have, like, a lot of movie posters and whatnot. And there was a Nightmare on Elm Street movie poster where it was Freddy Krueger, but it was backlit, so you could just see the outline of him and, like... You could see he was in a boiler room and see kind of the lighting on the
That sounds
shutter to
awesome.
see what it is, but you could see that he had the claw, but you couldn't see his face. And I remember that being, like, really eerie. And
Yeah,
stuff,
that's an awesome
Like, I'm
sounding
picturing
image.
it now, because I'm pretty sure I have also seen that poster. Where it's like, like boiler lighting.
like there's like a moonlight coming through like a window or something like that.
And like you
It's
can
like,
just see the outline of a sweater, like but just on the sides.
Yeah.
And, like
Yep.
you can see
Yep.
the claw and you can see the outline of the hat, but like
You
that's
can't
about
see
it.
his face.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's kind of 3/4 profile, so you can kind of make out like his cheek or his nose.
You can make out that it's like definitely like not a smooth appearance, but not enough to like see
The full-
clear
Yeah, the
details.
detail.
Yeah, it was just like that's like you were saying, James, atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that you don't need a huge budget for. You just need a properly placed light bulb and a fog machine. And, the fact that I've never seen the entirety of Nightmare on Elm Street from start to finish. I've seen like enough of it to know how the movie goes. But like that alone I think is what makes it successful, I think. Or what makes a horror movie successful.
Truth, dog.
So, can we talk just real quick about how this movie description in Amazon actually isn't about the movie at all? The two biggest icons of the slasher film genre finally meet in Freddy vs. Jason in a frightening showdown in hell,
There is
Not
no
in hell.
showdown in hell.
which doesn't happen.
Well, I guess, I mean, they have,
Nor was it
they have
frightening.
a showdown in Freddy's
Dreamscape.
nightmare dreamscape, which I guess
Yeah.
could be considered quote unquote hell.
Nah.
Because he's not technically alive. Maybe.
I mean,
Whatever.
neither of them are technically alive, so any meeting is technically hell.
Yeah, we're splitting hairs over
We are
what
splitting
is
hairs.
what is
I think
is
they're
our
just
dream
wrong.
are all
Amazon's
dreams
just
in
wrong.
hell?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to like succinctly describe this movie, at least like.
Sure it is. Garbage, period.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if you were to write a one-sentence description of this movie to try and sell it to people, I don't know how. Like, I mean, obviously this is kind of incorrect, but it's hard to come up with.
Let's do this live. The two biggest icons of the slasher genre finally meet in Freddy vs. Jason in a frightening showdown in a small town that murders a bunch of teens.
Yeah. In a murderous
Period.
rampage that ends
Yeah.
in a battle a final battle between the two.
Yeah.
Right. Plus Destiny's Child.
Plus
Yes.
Destiny's Child. Plus Kelly Rowland.
I think you could have just said two big icons of the slasher genre finally meet in
Freddy vs. Jason, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Right
go.
there.
You didn't need a frightening showdown in hell.
Thanks, Hemingway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fucking box you.
Ernst.
Ernst got turned. All right. Well.
All right, I think
Let's,
we waxed poetically.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
let's
Enough.
kill this now.
Yep. Let's
On Ernst got turned. Let's get out of here.
Claire, thank you for coming.
Yes,
thank you for
thanks.
providing a boatload of good discussion, good beer, and some good laughs.
Just have me back is all I ask.
We will have you
will.
back.
That'll be contingent on your
More beer.
your packaging of beer.
I can always bring beer.
That
That's
beer.
literally the easiest thing to ask because I also get beer.
Yeah. All right. As always, check out Good Brews, Bad Views on iTunes, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Rate and review us on iTunes. We
Rate and
really
review and say that I'm awesome so they
Yep.
have me back.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Claire, where can people find you online if you want them to find you online?
Oh, that would be lovely. Well, I am the only Claire Higginbottom on Facebook in America, so that makes it pretty easy. On Twitter and Instagram, I am Claire to the max, numeral 2. I'm on Tumblr, but I forget what it is because I literally never go on Tumblr.
I think it's also Claire to the max.
No, it is not. I think it's my same as my Xbox handle, which is Genetic Shift. But regardless, I am mostly active on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Feel free to follow. I post a lot of pictures of food, beer, and my cats.
Creep us all.
Yep.
Woo.
Yep. So yes, thanks for coming on again, and thank you all listeners for listening. As always, please Please watch and drink responsibly, and have a happy Halloween.
Spoopy.
Goodbye.